Yo, what is up? We are back. Snowboarder Sports. Tonight we've got the Friday night second day of the draft recap. We got some gentlemen this evening we're sharing the evening with. We got to my right, I think. It's backwards. So yes, this is my right. We got John Jay from the 49ers Ultimate Report. We got media from
Yes, sir.
49ers Media. And then we got Bryant Culp. This is Tony Culp's husband. So just remember Tony Culp's husband when you see that face. Don't worry about his first name. It's the same, just the matter that the last name is Culp. Tony Culp's husband. His name is like Bryant or something. Okay. Yes. For a second there, when I went live, it's said something about local recording, and I'm like, oh shit, are we not really live? Are we, this is supposed to be a live show, but no, we're live. Let's get into it. Bryant, you be quiet. You're going last. Kicker at 99. Jake Moody, 49ers pick. Jake Moody as kicker at 49. John Jay, I'm coming to you first. I want to hear your unbridled opinion.
We had more needs that we had to address, and kicker was not a big need. 100%. Keeping 100 was not an important need. We do need a kicker. I agree, because Gonzalez is an 84% kicker in his career. But at 99, this is a John Lynch thing. This is what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan do. We take players that we do not need for whatever the reason. And I was saying this, our third round picks somehow don't work out. I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm not trying to, I do want the kid to succeed. But where you're drafted, if you do not live up to the expectations where you're picked, you are a bust. Okay? Kickers for a reason. Every NFL scout, those who have been in the business for a long time, do not draft kickers in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh unless you really need one. If you don't have one on your roster, and they don't even go in the first round like the Raiders, but the third round, we had important needs. That's all I have to say about the kicker situation. And there's nothing that's going to change my mind. I know what's going to happen later in the show. So I'm just going to say, hey, we agree to disagree, because that's what conversation is all about. So that's about it. Everyone can speak. I'm done. I made my piece.
Media, your thought about kicker at 99?
Yeah,
or
so
Jake Moody. He's our kicker now, Jake Moody.
So you could probably kind of tell my face was right when you said we were going to talk about Jake Moody, because I was like, really? Compared to John Jay, like what John Jay was saying, there were other positions of need. You had other guys you definitely could have taken, aka a guy like Blake Freeland, if you wanted to really sure up that right tackle spot. And they decided to go with Jake Moody, who I think you could have at least gotten in the 5th round if you were going to take a kicker. And so I just think it's an overdraft. Definitely the not my favorite pick out of the first 3 Niners picks that they've had in this draft. So that's all I have to say.
Bryant, go ahead.
So when you look at players that are coming to the 49ers, it's not necessarily about position. You have to look at what the needs are for the team, right? And sometimes we don't necessarily draft for this year. We draft for the future. and you're like, oh, I'm screaming, we need a right tackle. We're going to need a left tackle. We're going to need a linebacker. Oh, we need an edge, right? Well, we can be assured that the Niners will get an edge. They always get edges almost every year. We can go back to, the days of Trent Baalke and the Oregon Ducks, Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner. Since those guys, we've gotten a defensive lineman almost every year in the draft. We've gotten our wide receivers. We've solidified Ayuk with the 5th round option. Debo's been paid. Kittle's been paid. CMC restructured. We have our playmakers set, and they're willing to reset their contracts so we can, continue our Super Bowl window right now. By the restructure, it's like $8.6 million that they have freed up. So we have approximately $10 million, I think, if I'm correct, because the free agency should be like 100 something. So we have 3. Now we have 2 plus 8. We're around $10 million. So let's look at that, right? We're going to draft a player this year, a kicker. We're going to draft a lineman, and we're going to expect them to start. Are you going to expect a right tackle to start? No, they got too many players that they've been shuffling around on the line that they believe in. And for whatever reason, we might be screaming, throwing our fist up in the air, pulling our hair out, and saying, this guy needs to start. But if Kyle doesn't feel like the guy's smart enough, or the guy's confident, or he needs more time, they're not starting. We've seen it on offense and defense. Kicker is probably the only position that is going to be a walk-on starting role. We've seen quarterbacks get drafted. They're not starting. We've seen wide receivers come in. They weren't blocking. They didn't get to start. So you're going to tell me that the kicker is going to come in and have to block? He doesn't have to block to kick the rock. So I think this is a really good role. We could have this guy for 5 to 10 years if it works out. The pressure is on. He's a number 3, but he's not a number 1, right? And we didn't pull the Raiders. The Niners went after a kicker in the 3rd. We went after a punter in the 4th. We have a good long snapper. I think this is an A-plus move. And just because, we don't necessarily like it right now, I think in the long run, this is going to be that position. If the guy lines up and kicks a field goal 61 out and wins a championship game for us, are we going to be mad? I'm not. And again, I put my shirt on for a reason because I'm that confident. Let's go. This year, right? So let's go.
Kyle's talking about the pick right now. Yeah, I personally, that's great timing because they started talking about the safety and then now they're talking about kicker. I wish I could have... Brian, why couldn't you have talked for like 10 more minutes?
So, okay, if you go and look at like kicker, why is kicker a need? Because kickers, they either are good or they're horrible, right? And if you go after a kicker like the punt god, right? Well, Jake Moody hopefully doesn't have the same background as the punt god. But you go after these specialized players. That's what they are. Long snapper, kicker, and punter are specialized players. Everybody was rocking Robbie because he couldn't kick into the end zone. He couldn't kick off. So this guy can do it all. I don't know if he can punt, but maybe if that's what happens, maybe if Mitch gets hurt or something, the guy can come in and punt. Cool. I joke. If the guy can throw a pass and we can get a fake, I mean, come on, let's go. The Seahawks did it to us. We can't do it to somebody. We can't keep somebody, catch somebody sleeping. The Niners special teams need to go for the throat. We need to be aggressive. We need to be spontaneous. We need to be random. We need to go for those onside kicks. We need to be aggressive because we have a good defense. If we don't get it, we should be confident enough that we can get it back.
It seems like Kyle Shanahan made the pick because of how consistent Robbie Gould was. He made the rationale of, we've been kind of spoiled here. I've, never had any issues with, I've always had confidence that the kick was going to go through. So essentially, I think he's like, if we're not going to get Robbie, then I need somebody I can be confident at any time of the day that the kick's going to go through. So if you're going to rationalize it like that, Kyle, then I'm okay with it. If that's your rationale behind it, okay. but I just still, you know.
Would we be madder right now if we took a running back than a kicker?
So that's another thing I wanted to bring up. He actually brought that up. He, after talking about taking the kicker, Jake Moody, he goes, "I still can't believe we didn't take a running back." And everybody in the press room laughed.
He's listening. The guy's listening.
Oh, we got Crazy Juice up in the house. What up, Crazy Juice?
What's up, Crazy Juice?
Yes, Jair Brown.
What's up?
Oh, you give it an A+. So they said they moved up because they didn't think Jair was going to get as far down as he did.
I was shocked that he was still on the board when we picked him up.
Yeah, same. And I was like, I saw the rankings on ESPN, like, just kind of see their big board. And yeah, I didn't think he was gonna get there. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. He was my draft crush. I like that he's very versatile because he can play the box, the outside, the slot. He can go everywhere. This is basically like a great Jimmy Ward replacement. I'm stoked with this pick. The only one that questioned me the most was Mr. Jake Moody.
Also,
we got the Auntie Slayer in the house, David McNiner.
Also, 66% college kicker. Just 1% in college. He was not my number one kicker. It was the Maryland kicker. He had the highest 50+ yard field goals. But what do I know? I
understand that, and that you have a good point. His jersey number was number 2, so that I could agree. He could be the second best kicker.
The only thing I gotta say is with DeJuan Jones and Blake Freeland still on the board.
Exactly.
That's
Jake Moody better be an all-pro for 10 straight years.
Can Jake Moody play tackle? Because apparently, if he can, then I'm okay with the pick.
I mean, the guy better be the best kicker in the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, when it comes down to it, protecting our young QB is like the most important thing. And at this point, it's one of two things going on. Either they know something I don't, which is 100% possible, or our young QB is going to be running for their life.
Oh, okay. First kicker off the board.
I mean, that's just the way it is. Ryan, I have to give you a 10 out of 10 on the background, buddy. That is fantastic.
that cheers me up a little bit.
Yeah, that background is great.
I spent some time on that. Notice it's all around him. He can never get away from it. It's to the right. Yep. It's to the left. It's above and below. He's trapped.
What's up, Jess?
What up, Jess?
How about Jake Moody?
You guys got 49ers media up in here. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Also, I'm not hating on the kid. Like I want to make that clear. I'm not hating on the kid.
Same.
The problem is that why, and it's not just this here, but you go back to like the modern where they started to rank players. Kickers, I don't know if the NFL is as a biased. I don't know if the NFL hates kickers, but they matter in many aspects of the game. But why are they always ranked like 6th round, 7th round? Why? Can an NFL expert tell me that? So I'm not saying that you can draft the kicker anywhere you want. The Raiders did it. It's funny and hilarious. Why I could make fun of the Raiders, but what did the Niners see in this kid? Seeing this kid for them to say, let's take him with one of our compensatory 3rd round picks. What did they see? Again, David McNiner said something. At first glance, when we draft these players, we get angry. But then a year later, they blow us out of our mind. And I agree with David. He better be a Pro Bowler his rookie year all the way to his final year. If he's not a Pro Bowler in this 4-year contract, he's a bust to me because you were drafted at a place you weren't supposed to. That's why you can make fun of me, Brian. You can call me a hater. There's a reason why the number 1 pick is worth what it is, and the 2 whatever the mystery is what it is. It's not something that no. Anyone who says you can draft any player you want at any type of selection, I disagree with that notion. Because again, Trent Williams is going to be 35 this year. Okay, Colton McKivitz, I don't know if he's the right guy. That's why I said we do need a tackle. But again, what do I know? I don't know nothing about special teams.
So let me ask you real quick though, like because this was like the
hold on,
statement.
Hold on, real quick, Brian. Real quick, Brian. So Kyle also just explained that he essentially looked at all these picks and is not 3rd round picks, but he looks at them as 7 picks outside of the 3rd round. So he essentially looks at all of them as 4th round picks. And what did they draft Wishnowsky with? A 4th round pick, right?
Yes.
So this, I guess this is the same thing as drafting Wishnowsky at 4 to him. I'm not saying you got to eat it the same, swallow it the same way as he does, but just to give some context or some insight, supposedly. He might also be just saying this to make it sound a little more rational to people. Who knows?
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. I wish I would have got to say it first because I'm thinking the same thing. These comp picks are so far back in the 3rd round, they're considered early 4th round picks, right? So were we mad that they're a 4th round, early 4th round, late 3rd round pick? John, my question would be, what pick would you have selected at that position that's going to be a day 1 starter? The kicker it's going to be a day 1 starter.
What other kickers do we have that he has to beat out versus Gonzalez, who's an 84% kicker? It's a no-brainer that he's going to get that job week 1, unless something crazy happens that I don't know of. Compared to a player said we drafted a running back, there's a big depth chart. If we drafted a tackle, they're not going to start because we have Colton McKivitz and we still got Trent Williams. So just because you draft a player, it doesn't mean that they have to be inserted immediately. Same thing if he went for a defensive player at 99. We have a lot of depth. You look at the depth. You look at that vertical board. Again, look at that vertical board. There's a reason why it's more important than the draft board. And probably Jake Moody on that vertical board, which I disagree, was probably up there. So I would say this. Who does he have competition? Is there 4 kickers on the roster? Is there 10 kickers? No, there's 1 kicker who we signed who probably will get cut after a cut date. And so it's his job to win.
Well, okay. So that didn't really answer my question.
It did answer your question. I'm sorry you don't like the answer.
No, my question is what other position would you have drafted other than kicker that could walk on right now and start immediately?
Let's see.
Take her out of the way, put in a defensive tackle, put in a right tackle, and let's talk about those positions that could come in and immediately start, because we know a right tackle isn't going to immediately start on this team. They're shuffling the offensive line over. We don't like it, but that's what it is. They even got the guy from New York to come in. He's a veteran, so he's gonna sit on the bench when they're gonna bring in a rookie. I know what you're saying about the kicker. He doesn't have anybody to compete against, but we don't have 4 quarterbacks on the roster either. So how many quarterbacks are going to be competing? It's the same logic. It's like there's only so many people that can win the job. We have 2 kickers, 3 kickers. They got to compete for the position. But what other position, I'm going to ask you one more time, could you have drafted at that position, the 3rd round pick that can come on immediately and start?
Okay.
Receiver?
Okay, so basically you had Darwin Jones, who was a higher draft grade, a 2nd round projection, had 1st round talent. That could have been a guy who can start based off his draft prediction. Of course,
does he play? I'm sorry.
Hold on. You're asking me the question. I'm answering it. Just like
what position does he play? You said his name.
Tackle.
So you're going to say a rookie tackle is going to come in and start for this 49er offense?
I'm going by their draft grade. This guy was a first round talent, but was projected to be drafted in the second round. He fell for whatever the reason. Players fall. Okay, this guy could jump in there. Okay, Spencer Burford did it last year. So it's happened before. Let's talk about a player that's not important. Keely Ringo, corner. We have a bunch of corners, but this guy is a first round grade, still on the board, undrafted. I can name a bunch of players we do not need. Okay, I can name a bunch of players who are still first round talents who are not there. Okay, so but let's go to some other positions. Okay, because there's a bunch of players. Let's see, center. We don't really need a center. The Ohio State center, Luke Wyapper. Okay, this guy is a second round grade. For whatever the reason, he's still on the board. Okay, I can name a lot of players, Brian. Again, and I'm just going by their draft. The same thing with Jake Moody. I'm looking at his potential. There's a lot of things he has to clean up. He played in the Big Ten. Big Ten is a powerhouse in that conference. Michigan's the number one team. They score touchdowns. They rarely kick long field goals. But when he's forced to kick a long field goal, he has a horrible kicking percentage. And I'm going by the numbers. I'm going by what I see because they show Michigan games in my location. He did not really pass the eye test to me. But the guy from Maryland who had a lower grade, who if we would have got him, I would have been okay with that because he was the better kicker. But I'm just saying.
So let's go back to what we were saying. What position could you draft besides kicker?
I just did.
So you're going to say a tackle is going to come in and start as a rookie on this 49er line. It's not going to happen. The Niners don't start rookies. Kicker is going to be the only player. They didn't start quarterback. They didn't. Who's going to come in? They didn't start.
I'm done. Hey, Brian, I'm done.
Go. Spencer Burford.
Real quick,
I asked
we
you
got.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, hold on. We got somebody new in the chat. I want to say hi to Very Nice. What up, Very Nice? Appreciate you coming in. If you would please hit the like and subscribe button, we'd really appreciate that. There's also links in the description to these other gentlemen's channels. So if you like the content you're seeing or you want to catch some of this aggravated conversation some other time, that's where we'll be. Yeah, appreciate you. We got Randy Daytona in the house. What up, Randy? Thanks for stopping in. Want to thank everybody who's watching right now. Please jump in the chat. Let me know how you feel. How do you feel about kicker in the third round? Kyle seems to think it's the fourth round. What's your thought? Do you think this is still a third round pick? What up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up? What's good, everybody?
I just wanted to say, honestly, John, I love you. Appreciate all the back and forth. I go and I try to ask you because I know if I ask you the right way, we're gonna get a better conversation. And I appreciate you, man. So don't get upset. I'm only asking because we're gonna get a good question. We're gonna get a good answer, a good conversation out of it. And again, kicker probably is the only guy that could come in and start. But we'll talk about that later. What's up, Jeff?
What's up? How are you, Brian? What's going on, bro?
I'm ecstatic. I got my boy. My jersey's
Nice.
My jersey's getting ordered here soon. Tony said hold back, and I said, well, okay, well then you got my debit card. So she started giggling. So.
Yeah, that shit.
Mm-hmm. What's up, dude?
What's up? How are you, John Jay?
I've been better.
Sorry to hear that. I hope things get better for you.
I know.
Brian, you better make sure
Jeff.
you know what number he's actually picking before he gets his jersey, though.
Yeah, what's that, John Jay?
I hope it's 2.
But yeah, I'm saying don't order his jersey until you know for a fact.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put it in the shopping cart. And
Yeah.
I just won't click until it's ready.
So, Jeff, have you been following the news of today
Yeah, I have.
and who the 49ers drafted? Okay.
Yeah, I heard.
What's your thoughts on it? What's thoughts on the kicker at pick 99?
I mean, it's not bad per se, you know, but I mean, I think we could have done better overall compared to what the other teams got, if that makes any sense.
True.
You're in agreement with that?
I'm
Well, I
still
am.
wondering, dude. The one thing I'm wondering about. So the tight end we picked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his first 2 seasons, he was a linebacker. Okay, and he switched for his last 2 seasons to tight end, and you know he did both. He ran block and pass catch, so he can do both. But he's still kind of raw at the position. So I'm honestly thinking, could this possibly be George Kittle's replacement? Because he is 30. He's not getting younger. His playing style, I don't see him playing until his mid-30s. And on top of that, it kind of looks like he wants to go do WWE stuff anyway. So, I mean, could this guy be the second tight end we've been wanting, or George Kittle's possible replacement?
I don't know. I mean, it's big shoes to fill. I mean, I think it would be. I think it's hard to say because George Kittle in his heyday was really something else, you know. And if he could play like he did in his heyday now, I mean, we wouldn't even question having a second string, so to speak.
Well, having a second tight end just plain helps your young quarterback, and either way, our quarterback, whoever Trey, it's going to be starting off Trey Lance because Brock Purdy's still going to be recovering. But either way, we have a young quarterback, and having 2 good tight ends is just going to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, added protection is always a good thing.
But at the same time, keeping our young quarterback upright and not running for his life is incredibly important to me. And that DeJuan Jones or Blake Freeland, I mean, they might not beat out McKivitz right off the bat, but later in the year they possibly could. These guys were. I mean, when it comes to Blake Freeland, he does need to gain a little bit of weight. He needs to work on his footwork, but he does have a high ceiling. DeJuan Jones, he is a mammoth of a man, and is athletic for being a mammoth of a man. Not Trent Williams athletic. It's hard to find someone like that. But I mean, having him over on the right side, the quarterback would never have to worry about someone coming at him, because that guy, all he has to do is step in the way and the guy's not getting to him. 6'8", like I've heard reports ranging from 350 to 380, but so he's somewhere in that range. He's a mammoth of a man. So it would be hard for someone that even has leverage on him to get by him. And I highly doubt Micah Parsons is going to chokeslam him. Oh,
I apologize, David McNiner. There was static on my end. I couldn't hear anything. I apologize in advance.
Oh, yeah, you're all right. You're all right. Joe Stevens, what up, buddy?
How you doing?
Hey, Joe.
How you guys doing?
Joe, do you have a Mariners thing also?
No, otherwise I'd have to punch myself in the nuts. What's up?
Oh, you're not a Mariners fan?
No.
This I'm shocked about.
May I ask what baseball team you root for, or do you root for baseball?
Yeah, no, sadly I am a Mariners fan, but I think if Super Bowl next year, I think if I based myself around Mariners content, I might have to kill myself. So Yeah.
So, Brian, if we actually win the Super Bowl this next year, what are you going to do with that shirt?
He's gonna say
I'm
2
gonna
in a
put
row.
it back in my closet because it doesn't mean we can't repeat. It never
Okay.
says we can't
Okay.
repeat. There's no period at it. It's always like, and this is a gift from one of my dad's friends, and a longtime 49er fan. Pulled it out of the closet. He's like, you need this. So yeah, this has actually had Super Bowl victories and been passed on. So the luck is there. I got the candlestick magic. I'm telling you, I got the energy right now. Let's go.
Nice. I like that.
I mean, honestly, come on. Like, what other player did we really, really, really need? A right tackle? Okay. We guaranteed
Yeah.
he's going to start? Are we guaranteed he's going to start?
Yeah.
Is he gonna compete for a job and maybe start year 2? Yeah.
But why
Is
can't we
he
get
gonna
one?
be?
Why can't we get like one in like the 5th or 6th, or the 7th? Get 2 or 3 in the 7th.
You can, but those guys. I mean, we actually draft very well there, but typically those guys don't end up panning out. They end up, being career backup. Like look at Jalen Moore, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seriously doubting he even makes the team this year.
Yep. And he was one of our 5th rounders.
Yes.
And he
was one of our 5th rounders.
He was supposed to be either, like be a replacement down the line, but he never plays. I don't know why. So again, like when you draft someone, I don't care what position, kicker as well, they better pan out, because if they don't, and say, again, if I'm right, which I don't want to be right, say Ryland goes to another team, say he goes to one of our rivals, and he's knocking, and he is put rookie team all pro, and then Moody, again, I'm just going by what the numbers say, how they played, and why I consider my draft stuff. I scout these players as well. That's why my stuff is different than everybody. It's not easy doing these scouting things with the limited time I have in my personal schedule. But at the end of the day, just like David McNiner said, he better be a Pro Bowler as soon as possible. So I don't want to hear any type of excuses, like if he starts to play bad. Because when you draft a player, it doesn't matter if you like the player, because there's a certain bias that you have. If they cannot be an NFL player, I don't give a damn. They're a bust. Kinlaw's a bust. I'm calling it. I've been saying this. He's been in the league 3 years. He's been hurt most of the time. So this is the NFL, okay? It's the now football. The now football league. It's not what you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's what you're doing right now. And that's why these players are easily replaceable. 3.5-year careers for an average, okay-ish football player. 1% of the league is those top tier guys that will play for over a decade. That's why rosters change every year. So
I agree with that. I mean, you need to it is about the here and now, and the thing is that a person that what was I going to say? It is about the here and now, and what it is that you could prove, and you know what? Enough with the excuses. Just save the drama for your mama. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ryan, bring up Crazy Juice comment. And that to me is very funny and flattering. I want the kicker to be the hero, right? But no, honestly, I want the quarterback and the team to score enough touchdowns that the kicker doesn't have to do much. He just comes in and does his job, kicks those extra points, and we win the game. But to me, the big joke is why are they called special teams? Because you have to be special to go out there and win it all at the end. And that's why we have to have a good kicker. We have to have a good player at those positions. And if we invest in them, sure, it's a big ouch at one time, but it's the same thing when you go to buy a brand new car. It's a first ouch, but then after that, you get in the car, you start driving around, you start feeling better about yourself. You're not as nervous, and you just keep driving around because that's now part of you. That's your possession, right? So now we're gonna get a kicker. He's gonna come in. He might miss a little bit. He might stumble a little bit, but you know what? He's going to regain his steps. He's going to move forward. And if he doesn't, then we'll get another kicker in the 3rd round next year.
Yeah, I agree with Brian. I mean, you got to get used to it.
Why? We went 2 running backs in the 3rd round multiple years, and they didn't pan out. The Niners don't have to worry about these draft selections. We traded up for a quarterback, and we're not worried if he pans out. The Niners just want to win a Super Bowl. If we can win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, the 7th round, the last pick in the draft, you think they're going to be mad? No. If they get a kicker, with the first draft or the last draft of the pick, and he wins the game, no, they're not going to be mad. So
I got a question. I got a sarcastic question, and you don't have to answer it. Are you saying how good did Robbie Gould play in the Super Bowl in 2019? You don't have to answer that. But I think he made all his kicks and we lost. It wasn't because of Robbie Gould. So, I don't know.
I agree with that.
But that's kind of my point, though, John, is I don't want the kicker to have to win the game. But when the kicker goes up to kick the ball, he needs to deliver, right? We want him to score at those times. And that's why Robbie's always been gold, is because in the crunch times and playoffs, he's a veteran. He doesn't miss. We can rely on him. But he's getting older. He wants to play closer to home, so he doesn't want to be on the team anymore. The Niners feel it. They go and draft a kicker, and they're going to hope for the best too. We're going to not rely on our kicker. We're going to rely on our team, and we want to score touchdowns. But when the kicker has to come out, we want him to make it. This guy can kick 61 out. I'm not going to be mad.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Were you guys pissed when they took Mitch Wisnowski in the 4th round?
A lot of 49er fans are still angry at him. Like he's grown on me, And
so who would you rather have on your roster right now? Mitch Wisnowski. One sec. Trying to find him here. Or Jalen Hurd.
Jalen Hurd was so awesome, but he had back problems. And we couldn't get what we could get out of him. He was supposed to be our other Debo. They both were drafted at the same time. He had so much potential, but because of his spine injury, it just didn't work out.
But what I'm saying is he was a 3rd round pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you really think you'd rather have Jalen Hurd again, or would you rather have the kicker, John Jay? Which one would you rather have, the kicker or the player who never plays?
So at that point, so I'm going to go at that point when we drafted him, okay? I did not want him when we drafted him. But when I saw his film and I saw his tape, I'm like, oh, dude, this guy is someone that Kyle is going to love because he played some running back. People get mad at me. He played some running back. He also played wide receiver. Look at Christian McCaffrey. He play some wide receiver. He's a running back. He loves those players. Mitch Wisnowski, I was like, all right, he's a punter. 4th round is a bit of a stretch. I wasn't complaining about Wisnowski, but did he live up to the expectations? I would say that he's an NFL player. He belongs in the league, but they could have waited. They could have waited a little bit. So if I had to now know what I know, I would have basically still have that mindset that if you're a good player and the numbers tell me and the playing style and the film says, yes, that's the player that I want. But that's why you wait 3 to 4 years before you make an assessment. So at that point, I did not want those players at that point. So that's how I answer the question.
How about Will Redmond?
Who?
Will Redmond.
Will Redmond.
He had all kinds of talent, but couldn't stay on the field, right?
Okay, how about Eli Harold?
I liked him. I think personally, he didn't fit our scheme, but he was a good player.
Marcus Martin.
Are you talking about the center?
Yeah. How about Brandon Thomas? All I'm saying is these guys are 3rd round picks that didn't amount to shit. Why wouldn't you rather just have one guy that is going to be a starter?
Well, first of all, those picks either Chip Kelly or early Kyle Shanahan. And the early draft days were not really good. That's what I would say.
How about Kentavious Street?
He didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he was on the
Look
field,
at Bebop's comment. He could be here for 20 years. That's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, drafting is not a science. Like, if drafting was like if there was a cheat code, then anyone can do it.
How about Ambry Thomas? How do you guys feel about him?
Wait, John Jay, you make a good point. You mean if there was something like a game genie for football?
Yeah. So basically, if that term, if anyone can do it, we would all do it. But even the pros make mistakes. Okay, so there's a reason why there are teams that will always draft in the top 15 and will have a few years of playoff experience, and then they'll be crappy again because they don't have the right player personnel. The teams that are always good that never draft, probably the highest, like 16 but they're always drafting like around that playoff tier. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And as a 49er fan, I've said this. Bill Parcells is the smartest guy when he evaluated talent. Why he was so successful? He took a New York Giants team that was irrelevant for over 20 years, and he made them really good again. He went to the Cowboys. Of course, he did well with the Jets, did well, decent with the Patriots, yada, yada. He was a successful coach.
I would say he did what what's it called? I would say he did for the Giants what Phil Jackson did for the Bulls at the time of Jordan.
Yeah. So so basically what I'm saying again, I don't hate Jake Moody. Okay, I'm just saying that if we had someone in there and we were Kyle and John, I don't know what their process is, why they make the picks what they do. But at the end of the day, like, who, again, and I said this to David McNiner, who told the Niners that Jake Booty was going to be drafted? Who? Because there is intel that happens, like that the general managers talk, and I know John Lynch was on the phone, and they said, so I heard this kid Jake Booty could be drafted like after you guys pick at 102. Who told him that? That's another thing. So there's a lot of factors why we picked him. That's the reason why there's a term overreach. I do think it was an overreach because if someone really wanted him, why did other teams before us not draft him? I'm just saying.
Good question.
Because nobody was expecting him to go in the third round. Everybody was expecting the start of everything to happen in the fourth round. So in the press conference, John Lynch said he had a lot of good people in special teams. People call him up and say, hey, that was a great pick, a great pick, and it was a great spot is what they said, is because everybody knows normally the kickers, good kickers, they go off in the fourth round, okay? Punt God, fourth round, Mitch Wisnowski, fourth round. Seahawks, what's your kicker? Dixon, where was he picked?
Dixon. Either the third
where
or
was
the
he
fourth.
picked?
Either the third or the fourth.
Okay,
see what I'm saying? So it all goes around.
Okay. All right. So if many other teams were like raving on him, why didn't they pick him? Because, I'm just going with everybody's logic. If he was that good.
Like I said, the normal rule is everybody waits till the fourth round. So the 49ers just did it on the pick 99 because they knew no one could go up and move in between or get the pick before that, because sometimes people will trade out of that pick if somebody's trying to get up real quick to grab somebody, get off last thing. So they knew if they waited like to 101, somebody could have moved up and gotten that. So that's why they did it at 99 out of all of them.
So why did,
like I said, the reason why they moved up, why nobody had picked him, is because everybody else was waiting to the fourth round to pick him up. And the Niners are the ones essentially that took him away from every other team that was wanting to get it.
So if a team wanted him again, how desperate are you? They weren't desperate. They could say, "Yo, we want to offer you something," and if they would have got the right price tag, then they would have let him go to another team. But apparently there was no price tag.
Right, but they weren't thinking that anybody was going to move up essentially to the third round and pick him.
Yeah, he was expected to go fourth, so people were going to start moving around to get him if they wanted him there. The Cowboys, the Patriots, there's two other teams that need a kicker besides the Niners. There's like four teams. So what happened is they moved up. They're like, hey, he's the best available kicker. We're going to jump one round, and it's not even a round because this is an early fourth round pick. This is a late third.
So
this is basically a free pick.
So if this is technically a fourth rounder, because it is basically a pre-fourth rounder, like you're outside of third round, I get it. So if he was a fourth rounder, if someone really wanted him that was not the 49ers, why did they not fight for it? That's what I'm trying to say. If they really wanted it, they would have been calling the 98th.
They weren't fighting for anything. The Niners didn't like move up or weren't calling around to try and move up. So there was no, oh, hey, the 49ers are moving up. You wanted a kicker too. So do you want to offer me more? There was none of that. The 49ers stayed at their own pick, not showing their hand. Everybody thought they were going to get a tackle that was on the board, right?
Niners.
So Ryan, what you're saying is it's not a game of poker?
They didn't show their hand. They didn't show their hand.
It's like poker and chess.
Poker and chess. Interesting.
Hey, so I'm looking at Jake Moody's college numbers. So when it comes to extra points, he's 100%. He doesn't miss. His junior year, he was 23 of 25 with 92% field goals made. His senior year, he was 29 of 35, 82.9. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're just totally gonna see. I think the Niners went for the best kicker in the draft, and they're gonna play it out, see what happens.
And Corey has landed. He's waiting to get off. He's waiting for him to open the doors.
That's good.
Thank you. I got the message.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Grant Cohn did mention this and say it, Randy Daytona, but and I don't want to break my hand off on my back, but I did call into Grant and ask him about Jake Moody. He said he doesn't draft or he doesn't scout kickers. So I'm not going to say I was the first person to put it out there to him, but I know I was one of a couple of people who said, "Hey, what about Jake Moody?" So shout out to Grant and shout out to the 49ers organization. They are listening.
Let me have a question. Let me ask you another
question. They hear it through the grapevine, Bryant.
Let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question. All right. What before the draft process, did you watch Jake Moody all the 12 regular season games, the conference championship game, any of the BCS? Like, who put it in your head? Or are you just biased when it comes? Oh, I just want the kicker because he's rated this high.
Mm-hmm. Totally good question. 100%. I don't watch college football. I just don't have enough time to watch college football. I can't sit down and watch it. And then for me, like, I'd be more of a Cal fan, California team, and there's other teams out there. So for me to really, I'm not a scout, so I don't scout players. So I was looking at it because I wanted to write a paper about the kickers, and I Googled like which are the top 20 or 25 kickers coming into the draft. And I found out not all 25 kickers will make it into the draft. There's a very small few selection of kickers that come in. You have to compete with people coming in from the Arena League. You have to compete with other people coming in, undrafted free agents. So it's very interesting. You got a lot of camp legs. And I was just like, well, hey, this could happen, right? So I Googled it, and there was a couple websites that said Jake Moody was the first, and then there was a couple that had contradicted with it. I was been talking with you guys. Shout out to David McNiner. He talked about Chad Ryland. I've done some research on a couple of kickers. I've also talked to Darwin. Darwin said the Stanford kicker is really good. So I wouldn't say I'm biased, but after reading like 3 or 4 reports saying that this guy's the guy, what I did was I looked at his stats on all those pages, and then I did start watching it on YouTube, his kicks and stuff, because there are a couple highlight videos. He was number 13. He's number 2. So if he's gonna run with number 2, I say deuces are wild, John, and we got the guy.
Okay. Now the reason why I asked you this because I want to tell you something.
The whole 49ers scouting staff seemed to think that he was the best kicker available in the draft.
So
turn that down.
I will never ever argue with a pro scout because I am not a pro scout. Now, what I do know is that Rylan was a junior college standout, and when he was in junior college, he was knocking 50-plus yard field goals. Now, junior college is junior college, not even. It's basically like above like advanced high school. But doing that at 18, 17, and 18, knocking kicks that far, and for me to be unbiased, giving the special teams and kickers, if you're 17, 18 years old, knocking 50-plus yard field goals in a college, setting, that's a really good leg. That's rare to find. Okay. Now, then he goes to a Division III college and he breaks records in the Division III college. Okay. He knocked a 59-yard field goal at end of regulation in a Division III level. Okay. Next, he goes to Maryland, not a big powerhouse school. He's knocking kicks in against Big 12 competition, making everything. Now, he is not at the grading, which I think is a bit of bias because, again, these NFL stuff is also biased because he played in a big school. So he got overshadowed. I think people are overhyping this kid. And I said the best kicker is this because that's an unbiased take. I don't need to read an article. I do the scouting myself. I watch the film. But again, don't take my word for it because I never play special teams. So if you want me to be unbiased, Jake Moody's not the best kicker. And also NFL.com, go look at it. 66% field goals from beyond 40 yards. That's a person writing from NFL.com. But I don't know nothing about kickers because I never kicked.
Okay. So would you be happier if they took Jake Moody with the first overall pick in the 4th round rather than the 34th overall pick in the 3rd round?
Drafting a kicker, doesn't matter what pick you're going to pick. There's a reason why teams, and I don't give a damn about teams really wanted them, but they wanted to wait. They didn't want to trade up. If you want someone, it doesn't matter. You go after and get them. So overall,
and that's what they did.
So
that's what the 49ers did. They wanted
the
him.
Browns didn't do it. The Commanders didn't do it before us. The Bengals, they traded down.
They have Evan McPherson.
They didn't want him. Let's see. I could keep going on and on, but
go ahead. We'll name the kickers.
John, like we already explained earlier. Like we explained earlier, everybody expects the kickers to go in the 4th round. So everybody was surprised by the 49ers. And that's how you make sure you get the best kicker out of the draft is you surprise them with your pick.
And like you said,
so
John
to point at every other team that didn't make a move isn't like facts that he's not good. Just because you can't find proof of something means that it's like a cover up. You know what I mean?
Well, and
you know what I'm saying?
How do you know the reason they didn't take him 101 instead of 99 is they thought, oh shit, maybe somebody will trade up to 100, take Jake Moody, and
that's exactly his thought. He even said it. He even said that
in the press conference.
I think it was a solid pick, and it's going to take a little bit of time for the fan base to get over it. But you know what? At the end of the day, this guy's going to come in and he's going to start. We can't guarantee any other position, a wide receiver, a running back, a quarterback. We can't guarantee any other position, a center, right tackle. We can get these guys later in the rounds, a tight end, a 5th round tight end, George Kittle. I mean, come on. We're investing in a kicker. If we blow the wad on the kicker at 3rd, guess what? We can do it again next year. We did it with the
Wasn't
running
Spencer
back.
Burford a 6th round draft pick?
4th.
So again, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just I know everybody's shocked, and it's hard to say Bryant was right, but I was totally surprised at myself. The guys, they were watching it live, and I took my tie off, and I got it crazy a little bit, but you know what? It's
Yeah, I
just
noticed that.
it was just because
Yeah,
hey,
we were a little nervous what you're gonna do with that tie.
I didn't know what to do with it either.
Don't ask, don't tell, right?
Right,
Can
again,
I
So,
ask you
John,
guys
think
another
about this.
question? Sorry.
Real quick. So, like, if the 49ers were going to move down and pick them with the 4th, or they were going to move up and give too much capital to try and get them in the 4th, that would have been an alert to everybody else, kind of maybe to what they were thinking. It shows movement. So with them just staying at their pick, it was a surprise move.
When has the NFL ever been like, I'm going to have common courtesy and I'm going to let whoever has the 99th pick take a player that we want? That's my argument. I'm not saying okay.
Why would they?
Okay.
It's not about manners.
We're not making shit. Why the fuck would they do that?
It's not courtesy. It's just it's a normal operating procedure. You know what I mean? It's a standard operating procedure for the most part. There's like
It's SOP.
Obviously exceptions like tonight.
Yeah.
John Jay, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, you can ask
And
me.
after, can I ask a question?
Yep.
one at a time, and it can't be about Subway because Jimmy.
I know. Obviously, I said after.
Jimmy Garoppolo's sandwich isn't there anymore. Okay, the 10% foot long, it's gone. So, okay, go ahead, guys.
So John Jay, say you guys have the Seahawks picks too, right? So you have pick number 5, pick number 20, pick number 37, and pick number 53, and then you have 99, 101, and 102, right? Do you think anybody would give a flying fuck that they took a kicker at pick number 99? Or do you think you guys are just so bored with this draft that you're going to pick on the one thing that doesn't make sense because it's in the 3rd round and it was one of your top picks?
What up, Eric Wallace?
Sorry.
What up?
I don't know. I wasn't trying to make that sound mean.
So,
sorry.
Are you asking me if
you had 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks on top of the picks you guys had today, do you think anybody would give a fuck and be talking about them picking a kicker with pick number 99? Or do you think it's because you've been so bored all for the past 2 nights going, oh shit, who are we going to take with this guy? And then you trade up, pick a safety.
That's a great point.
Whatever. And then with 99,
so underwhelmed and shocked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then 99, you take a kicker. But if you guys picked two picks in the first round and you guys got your guys, and you got 2 picks in the second round and you guys got your guys, no one would give a fuck that you took a kicker there. Not a single person.
Nope.
I think you guys just got so bored.
They might be ecstatic too, because if you think of it, if you get ecstatic about the first 4 players that come off the board there, because they're first round players and second round players, right? And then you go and you get the best kicker, supposedly, let's just say for all intents and purposes, supposedly the best kicker in the draft. Then everybody just thinks, man, that's five really good players all in a row.
So Joe asked me a question. If the Niners had the number 5 and what other pick did you have in the first round?
20.
So,
just 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Let's make it easy.
Okay, so
let's not worry about the numbers.
We have 2 first-round picks. We address important needs that the team really needs. At the same time, when you're drafting the first round, you have these top elite prospects who can be day one starters. Okay, period. And saying we have no picks in the second round and we have compensatory picks. At that point, once you
the thing was that we had 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. That was his question.
Okay.
Would you still be mad at them picking Jake Moody?
So once you address easy answer. Once you address all the needs that your team really needs.
What do you need? What the fuck do you guys need? You guys I'm sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
need a
but
fucking
you guys were
alibi at
fucking-
this point.
Guys,
Be
we're
nice,
quarterback
be nice.
short of making it to the Super Bowl, probably winning the Super Bowl. If your third string quarterback doesn't go down, what more do you guys need? I mean, holy shit. You could never beat the Seahawks. You could never beat the Seahawks. He beat us 3 times in a row last year. What more do you need? You need a quarterback that doesn't get hurt.
Everything, Joe.
We need a 10-season win
Everything.
streak against the Seahawks.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I'm really not trying to be rude. It's hot in here. I apologize. I'm John Jay.
He's
I'm not like
frustrated
coming
with
after
this
you. I
topic.
swear to God.
What is it, like 75 degrees in
Okay,
Seattle now?
hold on, Joe. Let me say something, and then, okay. First of all, like you have not known me a long time. Okay, I'm gonna be really careful how I say this because I know it's gonna come out very awful. Okay,
Jesus.
are you good, man? Because you're coming at me very negative at me for some reason. I don't know what I did to you. I'm trying to answer, the question, try to give you my perspective, and you're like, God damn, are you good?
He just said he wasn't trying to come at you that way.
He's a little excited. We're on for a very long time.
That means he's not trying to come at you that way.
I'm not trying to come at you at all, John. I'm just a little upset because your team is fucking stacked and everybody's worried about a fucking kicker. I guess I'm just kind of jealous, right? That you guys, it's like first world problems.
We need a kicker,
Right.
and now we don't need a kicker.
He's in the middle of a retool right now. He caught a glimpse last year, and he's hoping that he can get back there. But he's seeing us, on the yacht, and he's got the dinghy, and he's about to get hit with our wake. You know what I'm saying? He's like, why can't this be me?
Hold on.
Wait, I still have a question. Will I get to ask it?
Yes.
I don't know if the yacht's that nice because
I'm sorry, Jeff. We're not ready to pivot. This is a very emotional and probably one of the best questions of the draft.
John Jay, right. I promise. I'm coming at you with no
write it down or start it, and then we'll come to it. I promise.
Okay. All right. Take your time. It's fine.
Hey Jeff. I'm sorry, but like Brian right now is acting cocky right now because he got a pick right.
Jesus Christ!
And hold on. I'm not angry. I'm trying to answer the question, and some of the answers that I'm giving everybody is making everybody all a little bit like OCD right now. Like I'm not sure why people are coming at me. I'm just stating facts about the NFL. But for whatever the reason, facts, just like someone told me, facts don't care about your feelings. So maybe I got to be more nicer.
No,
okay,
more rude.
Real quick. I'm sorry, John. I'm not trying to feel cocky or anything like that. But yes, I did call that Jimmy Garoppolo would be on our team last year, and I won a lot of Subway bets. I made a T-shirt. I had a lot of fun with it. I did bet a lot of YouTube content creators. They said they'd buy a sandwich, they'd eat it live. I never called them and made them do it, but it was just my guess. Hey, the way I felt with the team, the vibes and stuff, they're going to re-sign Jimmy. This year, they're not bringing back Robbie. It's a big dagger to me because I like Robbie, but they're signing a kicker. And for me, I'm like, hey, what's the best kicker? So like you said, you're scouting players all over. I looked a little bit. I did a little scouting for myself and scouted some kickers and said, hey, this guy might be the best player available. And they got him. And I've been pounding my chest this whole preseason saying, let's go get this guy, right? Maybe to make people irritated a little bit, but just being funny in the background. And I'm like, hey, they got him. And everybody's making a point. It's almost a 4th round pick. If we had a 1st round or a 2nd round or a 3rd round, and then we used our 4th round pick like a normal team, because they all have 7 picks, you're not supposed to be missing picks or have multiple picks in rounds. Like who has 3 5th round picks, right? Somebody made a mistake right there, right? So you're supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we used our 4th round pick for Jake Moody, is it going to be Moody? Is anybody going to be Moody? I mean, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but I'm being funny. And in the future, I think this is going to be a really solid pick for everybody. And, we'll just go from there. But, hey, trust the process. Let's go Niners.
But, John Jay, I'm sorry. In a nicer way, if you had 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, would you give a shit that you took Jake Moody 99th overall? And then you can ask me if I'm coming after you or whatever. But I'm not, I promise.
So Joe, the first thing I'm gonna say, I know you're coming at me. I'm just like the tone that came out was a little bit like surprising. I'm not angry. I'm just saying that I gave an answer that if we have those picks, 2 first and 2 seconds, so we address what we need, and then at 99 we pick a player that is not something that then why not? But because we didn't draft in the first round, didn't draft in the second, our first pick was a safety. We still had to look at edge because again, I'm not saying Drake Jackson is garbage. I'm just saying that we need more depth over there, and they value the edge rusher position. Trent Williams is 35 years old. Don't know how long he's gonna be playing. And Colton McKivitz, I don't know if he's gonna pan out. So it's always good to make sure you have the right pieces before you draft the kicker or any position. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. So
you need to have pieces that fit like a puzzle.
Right. So the one thing I wouldn't be mad about is firing up the draft tomorrow, and all of a sudden we traded the majority of our picks to move up and take one of these tackles that's still on the board.
Oh,
I wouldn't be mad about that. But at the same time, I was saying earlier, it's one of two things. There's either something going on we don't know about, like maybe McKivitz is it. Maybe Nick Zakel is going to be our starting right tackle. Or, the exact opposite. Maybe we're not going to be able to properly protect our young quarterback, which would be sad. So I'm hoping it's the first option. There's something we don't know that they know.
I just want to say something real quick. Breaking news. Bryant Culp was talking about getting Jake Moody's jersey. It seems like Diamador Lenoir has taken jersey number 2. We can't hear you. Muted.
No, you're not muted.
So he had number 13 and he had number 2. So Purdy was 13. So maybe does he take number 9? Does he replace Robbie?
Gonzalez is number 10. So if he Highlander, ends Gonzalez like Highlander, then maybe he can take number 10.
I'm interested to see that because he's not.
Joe, do you know about Highlander?
12.
Don't even Talladega Nights me because no, I haven't actually seen the Highlander movie.
Do you know what it's about?
The original Highlander was Sir Sean Connery, by the way.
No, I know Ricky Bobby loves
well,
the
he was in there. Well, bro, so it's about dudes that lived forever. You know what I mean? They were immortals, but they could be killed. Well, they live forever, but you could be killed. And when you kill the other guy, you're supposed to cut off his head, and then you get his power too. And so every time these guys fight, they gain the vanquished one. The one who vanquishes the guy gains all his power. So Gonzalez, essentially, we're bringing him in so Jake Moody can, vanquish him, gain his power, and then we'll have,
Are you saying this in a usurp the throne kind of analogy?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I just thought it would be cool that, if Highlander was actually true.
That would be pretty cool,
I thought, I'd have to go through centuries, protecting myself from dudes who are, just like me, trying to whack my head off. I thought that was kind of a cool, cool existence. Like you're not whacking the heads off of the normal people. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, when you see another one, if you're not cool with them, bro, it's on sight. You can't leave that guy around to come creeping up on you when you're not looking. No, it's on sight.
Hey, let's
It's like with the cutthroat knife when you come from behind and slit the throat.
Let's
Randy. Holy Jesus. He says Highlander is absolutely horrible.
Well, he must agree with the
God.
French. Okay, he's more of a John Gerard kind of guy.
Hey, Jeff, you had a question, right?
Yeah.
Let's hear what
That
that
is
is.
actually an attached question. John Jay, you said that the NFL is biased. What makes you think that?
Yeah, so the NFL, the way they look at the draft, they still go by a antiquated system, big word, a system that is like 50s, 60s, 70s, the way you play football. So if you're a quarterback, you got to be 6'4", 225. I don't know why they made that rule. Okay. The same thing when it comes to kickers. It's an antiquated system. Okay. But they still write the rules about do not draft the kicker. Do not draft the kicker until they're in the 6th or 7th round, because you have undrafted free agents from the year before, undrafted free agents from the year before that. You have a lot of veterans who are in their 30s, mid 30s, who kick better than a young college kid. So that's the rules that they write. Again, I'm an NFL
John Jay,
historian.
what do you define as antiquated?
I'm giving you the answer, man.
Okay, sorry.
So it's an old way of thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the black quarterback. Let's get to it. I've never spoken real before. If you're a black quarterback, all you're able to do is run the football. Let's be honest. Okay. Why would they say that stupid thing?
I don't like that being put into the atmosphere because that's not
Who
true.
said that, by the way?
They did say that in like the 80s and 90s. No,
Okay.
that's not true at all today.
I know,
But who said that?
But there's still coaches and there's still scouts in the NFL that still think that way. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't know why. I remember when Russell Wilson was in Wisconsin, he had the best passing numbers. He played 3 years in North Carolina, went to Wisconsin, played in the Rose Bowl. I said, this kid is going to be something special. And everyone laughed at me. Oh man, the dude is too small. The guy's a runner. When he was in Wisconsin, he had more rushing yards than throwing the football. I said, did you look at his stats? So we're still in an area where the way they look at the draft is still the same thing. Okay, why did Trent, what's his name, the quarterback from Florida, jump up and got drafted 4th overall? Because he ran 4.45 for a big, large dude. Same thing with Kyler Murray. When he got measured and he was much taller than he once was, he was a 10th overall pick and he jumped up to number 1. The Cardinals picked him up. So it's so weird how, what these scouts, see. And that's why it's an antiquated system. But then they change it up when they like something. So that's the reason why I'm very critical with the draft. And that's why I do not take what the draft people. That's why I hate Mel Kiper. I hate him. I want to say it. I hate him. The guy is an idiot. So,
are you specifically going after Bryant on that?
John,
no, I'm not going after Bryant.
I'm just kidding.
John Jay, are you saying that there's a lot of favoritism going on, nepotism, perhaps?
Kyle Shanahan's father was not a successful coach, if you think about
There's
it.
definitely nepotism.
So
wait. Pause. You say Kyle Shanahan's dad was not a successful head coach.
So after, tell me what he did. Hold on.
Did you just say that?
So yes, I said that. But Brian asked me after John Elway retired, because what did Kyle's father do, and what did Kyle's father's last NFL ride when he was with the Commanders?
So did the Niners win a Super Bowl after Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan, left? He went to the Broncos and took the West Coast offense to the Broncos. And the Broncos started winning.
Yeah, but how old was Elway at that time?
Wait. We're not talking about how old Elway is. He won 2 Super Bowls. The Niners didn't win another Super Bowl after Mike Shanahan left. You said Mike Shanahan wasn't a successful head coach. Then he went to what? Washington, and he had a first round pick. He got the player into the playoffs. The guy got a horrific injury against Joe Stevens' Seahawks right here, with the beast mode and the Legion of Boom. I mean, we all can say it. Joe won't like me saying it, but I still love you, Joe. Your team was juicing, man.
No,
You had juicing,
no, we
man.
fuck. Oh Jesus! What are you? Okay. Why?
You guys were
You
aggressive
woke up
over
and
the.
chose
You
violence.
guys
You
were
woke up
like,
and chose
oh,
violence.
you guys were getting the calls from the refs. We can go back on clock and see how you guys were like.
Once again, Brian, I don't want to hear anything about the NFC Championship game until you go back and watch Super Bowl 40 and tell me which one really mattered more. Go ahead. Go back and watch it. In a neutral site, have you?
No, when the Super Bowl 40 was against the Broncos, right? You guys against the Broncos?
No. Against the Steelers.
The Steelers? No, I've said it. I think I said it to you or one podcast. The Steelers had some questionable calls. And if it wasn't for the Steelers having 4 Super Bowls at that time, then you guys probably would have won that Super Bowl. Have I not come on, Joe, and told you, even when you've not maybe said it, have I not pumped my chest and said Mike Holmgren, Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselblack, those guys were really good?
No, you have. It's just.
And that's what I'm getting at. So those guys deserve to win that Super Bowl. There was some bad calls. Bad. But
I mean,
we've had bad calls in the Super Bowl too, and I know you can agree on that. But whatever's happened, you guys have had our number for the last couple of years because you guys have been drafting to play against us, where we're trying to draft to build a team, and we're not worried about like individual teams. We're just trying to like build a good roster. You guys have been consecutively going and saying, how are we going to beat the Niners? And when we let somebody go, you guys swoop on them. You guys bring them in. You sit there and give them some nice Gatorade. Say, what do you guys know about the Niners?
Who, though, other than Kerry Hyder Jr., and I'm sure you'll name another one right off the bat that I can't think of. DJ Reed Jr., he was on your guys' practice squad.
Everybody says it, and you know what I'm saying. You guys take our practice squad scrubs.
He wasn't on our practice squad. He didn't get to our practice squad, Joe.
But you take our guys. You take our guys. You take our guys and make them superstars.
Yeah, we tried to sneak them on our squad, do some fancy stuff, and you guys yoinked our guy.
Yeah, but then you guys screwed us on Kerry Hyder because he sucked here. So
we didn't screw you. That was your signing. We didn't. We didn't trade for him. That was your free agent sign. You can't don't put that evil on me, Rick and Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me.
Hey, if you're not first, you're last.
Okay, can I go back to the Kyle Shanahan's father thing? Because I got a feeling that I rubbed you the wrong way, Brian. Because
no. I'm just arguing with you, man.
Hold on.
I'm just arguing with you.
Okay, so Kyle's father was the coordinator, not the head coach, when we won the Super Bowl. Okay, so he leaves. The team before he goes to the Broncos was the Raiders, okay? And then he got fired less than a couple of weeks into his second season. That's the Raiders. The Raiders are dumb. They should have kept them. So then he Broncos. John Elway, I think, was 0-3 in Super Bowls or whatever, and he was thinking about retirement, okay? He was 35, 36 at that point. So if John Elway was younger, I wonder how many more Super Bowls he would have won. Okay. Coaching matters, but also good quarterback play matters as well. After he retired, he had a bunch of like average quarterbacks who were very successful, but he never went over the hump. He drafted Jay Cutler, who was better than Vince Young, way better than Matt Leinart. And in the two seasons that he had Jay Cutler with Mike Shanahan's father, who was supposed to be a really good, a quarterback guru, they went 8-8, and then they went 8-8. And then this first year, Jay Cutler had a winning record with 4-2. Then they traded him away, and then I don't know what happened. I think the Broncos in 07, 08 fired him after a long time. He didn't win a Super Bowl after John Elway. He goes to the Commanders, which was at the time the Washington whatevers, and they drafted RG3. But then Kyle Shanahan said, "Dad, I really like Kirk Cousins. Is it okay if I can draft him?" And then Kyle's dad was like, "If you like him, I like him." So you're drafting two quarterbacks, made no damn sense. RG3 gets hurt, and then of course mentally, he's not prepared no more. But it ended badly for Kyle's father, and that's why going back to the nepotism. Okay, his father had a good career as a coach, but he didn't really do nothing. Okay, basically, I consider Mike Tomlin and Kyle's father the same. They did well early in their career, and they haven't done nothing after that.
So they didn't produce afterwards, after the early years?
I'm saying that Mike Tomlin inherited a good team, and since that Super Bowl loss, he has a 2-8 record in the postseason. It was pointed out to me by a Patriots fan, which was kind of sad. So I was like, oh, wait, now I don't have the same respect I once had with Mike Tomlin. So, and the same thing with going back and looking at, Kyle's dad, he had a lot of subpar players. They had good running backs in Denver, but for whatever the reason, like they just could not go over that hump in the postseason. And again, I'm not trying to have any arguments with no one. I'm just stating facts. That's common sense. You can just go Wikipedia and look at this stuff. So,
Ryan, who made the rule that you have to wait till the 4th round?
It's not necessarily a rule. It's just like it's how to put it. It's just kind of like muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
No one like made it up. It's just where the first kickers usually always go. And then like to get the first best kicker, people usually do some kind of a move to try and get them. So there's a game each year that's that teams are playing to try and get the right kicker, where they can figure out how to move, stay, whatever, to get the right kicker. So it's
in the way they maneuver it.
Hey, shout out to Randy. Shout out to Randy. He's like, you can't rub Bryant the wrong way. His skin is no. I mean, hey, sometimes you say stuff, and I might not necessarily agree, but I try to calm down and come back and think about it rationally. But guys, come on, Jake Moody, the pick that they took him at, that wasn't a bad idea. And then, like John, what you were saying, actually, Mike Shanahan was a Raider coach, like Raider coordinator. He went to the Niners, and then he went to the Broncos. And again, he left the Niners after winning the Super Bowl. He went to the Broncos, won 2 Super Bowls. Even if he thought about retiring after that point, John Elway, he was at his point. He was retiring. But you can see, if you have quality players behind a quality offense, a quality scheme, you can win the Super Bowl. And I'm so excited because his dad's got an office at Santa Clara. His dad's there almost every day. If he wants to ask his dad any questions, if his dad, whatever, he's right there. So I would definitely be leaning on my dad. If you call it nepotism, okay, that's fine. But then take a bunch of names. Take a dozen football names right now. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, whatever you want to say, Frank Gore. Take a dozen names, random names, and throw them up in the air and put them down and say, okay, how many sons are coming out of this? How many people are going to be cousins? How many people are coming out that are going to be related to these people? So if your family member is talented later on in your life, and you see, hey, my nephew, he's 2 years old, but he's fast, or I'm going to start training him now, right? Yes. sometimes you have to have like somebody that to get you into the show, right? That's like longshoremen's. It sucks. Unions are that way. It's right. No, it's not right, but it definitely happens. So with the NFL, nepotism is definitely real, and I'm glad you brought that point up. But man, if we win the Super Bowl, guys, I'm telling you.
So the Bears,
I
had.
gotta go to bed, guys.
All right.
So I've had
Have a good
an
night,
incredibly
Damon.
long
Have a
week.
nice weekend.
I think we
Dude.
got 45 minutes till we're out of here, anyways. Take it easy, David.
So
Does
anyone want to hear raps
y'all
tonight,
have
by
a
the
good
way?
night.
David, I won't be
yeah.
having a morning show. I won't be having a morning show tomorrow. It's
Oh,
gonna
you're
be
not?
it's going to be moved to an afternoon show after the draft because we're going to be starting at 8:30 tomorrow or something.
Oh,
It
shit.
will not be an afternoon show. It will
I'm
be
not-
an
An
evening
afternoon show?
It will be an evening show. I'm going to readjust my time. So
Evening show?
if you feel like
Okay.
it's on, then I'll shoot you. I'll always shoot you the link. But you know what I'm saying. But I won't have coffee talk in the morning. It'll be more like coffee talk at nighttime, or maybe like a nice beverage with your lady. And I'll
People
try to
have coffee with
Ryan,
dessert.
could you shoot me? Because it should be like 4 a.m. here.
Jeff, if you'd like to come on, I will definitely shoot you the link.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Brian. Thanks for
All right,
letting me
man.
know, buddy.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
David.
night.
Have a good night.
Niner.
Have a good night. Go Niners.
Go
and
Niners.
Fuck the Rams.
Go Niners.
Fuck
Yep.
the Rams.
Fuck the
Go
Rams.
Kickers.
BLA.
Ryan, did you want me to do any raps today?
Maybe
What
to close out the night.
What time
Okay.
you want to on, Ryan? Because I know we've been on for a while.
What's up?
What time? How long do you want to go?
I
I'm
think-
here. I'm having a lot of fun, but
I am too, yeah.
Good,
Brian?
vibe.
Brian, whenever you say I'm having a lot of fun, it always feels like you're not having any fun.
No, I'm here, man. I'm definitely here. I am so excited. Like, not only was I right about Jimmy last year still being on the team, I'm not a Jimmy stans, but I just felt like, why are you going to cut him? Why are you going to cut him at this point, right? And I just had that gut feeling, and I swung for the fences, and I hit a home run, right? And then this year, I've just been like, hey, Jake Moody might be that guy, right? And guess what? I think they've been listening to me. I wish they would have picked up my application for bump box guy, but it's okay. It's okay. Maybe I was asking too much money.
All right. We got Beto from 49ers or Niners sickness in the house. Also, what up, Beto?
Hey, Beto.
We've got Keely Ringo, please. But you don't have your camera going, so I don't know if you're I don't know who you are. So I don't know,
What if he's actually Keely Ringo?
Huh?
What if he's actually Keely Ringo, the Georgia defensive back?
Oh.
Shout out Little Sponge.
Oh,
Love
could
you,
that be
Little
Little Spongy?
Well, he's in the chat right there.
Oh,
Hey, Spongy.
I don't know.
Little Sponge official. Little Sponge official.
Yep, we have a
Yo.
Little Sponge in the chat.
Joe, I did
Yep.
Steve Harvey, by the way.
Well, Keely, you wanna turn your camera on so we can at least verify it first, and then so I could tell you're not somebody in some kind of a ski mask.
Keely Ringo,
Some
if
weird
you say it's Sponge, Ryan, then tell me one thing that only Sponge would know. Where's the best place in Philadelphia to get a cheesesteak?
Yeah.
What's up, Beto? How you doing tonight?
You know, Snow.
I'm doing great, man. I'm
You're
happy
not
with
bad.
our pick. I'm happy with our pick.
That's
My
not
Lakers won.
They
You
left.
guys hear me?
Oh, congratulations on your Lakers winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could hear you.
You're really muffled.
I'm talking from my phone. Really?
A little
Now
bit.
You're better now.
Okay.
Better now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hey,
What do you guys think
Keely.
about the kicker?
Oh God.
I love it. You know what? I wasn't expecting the kicker, to be honest. On my live, I said the Niners were going to take Brown, and they took him. Also wanted Cameron Tutu, the tight end, but I was kind of shocked a little bit. They took a kicker, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, this guy's definitely going to make the team. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he's been mentored. He has been being mentored the last few months by Robbie Gold.
Beto, in all the time I've known you, I've never seen you mad at anything the Niners have done.
No, I don't get mad anymore, bro.
That's what I mean. It's good. It's a good attitude.
Yeah. I'll criticize him with any criticism, and and I'll give him praise when they need praise. But I'm not gonna get no gray hairs because of them.
Right.
I guess this is a little spongy.
So
little spongy.
So Sponge.
Yo.
Oh, that's Sponge. What up, Sponge?
How did your Eagles do, man? You guys got a lot of good prospects.
Oh yeah.
Why do you guys all?
Yeah, you got a guy that might be going to jail sometime in the near future.
Nah,
little Spongy. Why do you guys only draft Georgia players?
I think you're talking about all the fans, Ryan.
Oh, that too. That too.
Could be.
I thought you guys were going to get Bijan Robinson, and
no Bijan. No.
The Falcons swooped on him. But if you guys would have got him, I think that would have made you guys like Super Bowl contenders. But
they already have a good. Yeah, they already
John.
They went to the Super Bowl last year. What do you mean Super Bowl contenders?
If they would have got Bijan, they would have repeated. But
well, you said contenders. Yeah, repeat. Okay.
Right. This year,
I'm not gonna lie. I can see
we got Moody, and that's going to put us over the top. Sorry, Little Sponge.
I'm not gonna lie. I could see the Eagles going about 10-7 this year. Losing the Super Bowl usually suck ass the next year. I mean, not to the extent that the Rams did it, but I mean, usually it's.
God.
Okay, we got a shout out and a Sponge, not a Sponge, but a question from Joey. Who do you think we get next, Beto? That's a good question from our boy Joe E.
I was 2 for 3 today, so I don't know. I would have to see how the board goes tomorrow because we do pick. We don't pick into the 5th round, so based on the board, it's hard for me to say. But if I can say position only without naming a player, I think the Niners will definitely go edge rusher with the pick in the 5th round.
As you can tell, I want Ringo.
You want a gringo?
I think he is a gringo.
You want a gringo? What do you want a gringo
You
for?
got a gringo right there.
Hey, Steve-O has a question for John Jay here, I think.
Where's John Jay at?
John Jay's right below me.
He's the one with
I didn't recognize the face.
John Jay, Steve-O asked, how do you think we draft a running back?
You see, at this point, I don't care what the Niners do. They piss me off.
No. We draft a running back. Not if you care. It's yes or no.
I really don't care, Brian. I honestly don't.
Why are you upset? Because they got a kicker?
Gee.
John's a little upset they got a kicker, but it's okay.
Why?
Of course I did. It's like sticking to my stomach. Everyone on my chat was talking smack, and I agree with them.
They need a kicker. That's a position they need, and they know that.
I agree, but did we really have? But I already made my piece. So I'm done. Like I don't know what else you guys want me to say.
No, but we're just having fun with you, and that's why you're still here because we want to hear your opinion.
To be fair, Beto didn't hear it all. He was watching the Lakers.
You. That's what I was about to say too, Ryan. Thank you for making that.
Yeah, you should recount it.
So yes, John, maybe put it in better words. Why do you think a kicker at the bottom of the 3rd round, top of the 4th round was a bad decision for the 49ers, who is going to potentially come in and start for the 49ers? So tell us why that's a bad pick.
Okay, so Here's the thing. Let me summarize it very easy. Any player that we draft.
Wait. Before you say something, let me tell you, I love you. Go ahead.
So, any player that we draft that is not a kicker is going to have some learning curves. Okay, I do believe I'm saying it right now that Gonzalez is going to get cut because you cannot keep two kickers. And when you're drafting the kicker at that high, that's a starting kicker. Okay, so it makes no sense for anyone to ask me who is going to start if we didn't get Jake Moody. Every position has starting players. Okay, kicker we don't. So they're going to get that job. My favorite word, technicality. Enjoy that, Brian, tonight. Technicality. So I should have said that earlier.
I love you, John. All right.
Don't interrupt him. Let him say it.
Go ahead, John.
Okay. Also, at the end of the day, like I try to make my point, but everyone keeps cutting me off, and everyone's making excuses for Kyle Shanahan like they always do. But here's the thing: I don't give a rat's whatever. At the end of the day, if a team wanted Jake Moody, I don't give a damn. Like, you know what? Let the Niners fool us. No, they're going to try to get that damn pick, and we're going to try to recuperate draft picks. But again, I'm stupid for even saying that. But at the end of the day, I'm done, like trying to be nice. I've said this to other channels. Like, I don't know why people want to argue with me. I'm just trying to state facts.
So let me see if I understand you correctly. Your facts are that you kind of everything you said up to this point makes me believe you will be happy that we got the kicker, because you stated the only position that is open is the kicking position, and a lot of people had told me in the past earlier today, well, we could have got him in the 5th, we could have got him in the 6th. They reached. We don't know that. You don't know if he's going to be there in the 5th round. You don't know. You can assume he'll be there in the 6th round, but you don't know that. And if the Niners really covet this kicker, they fell in love with him, they didn't want to take no chances. And to be honest with you, with all the picks that we have, not everybody's going to make the team. They already have a pretty solid team. So where's a position that they could make it for sure? It's a kicker. So like I said, I was surprised that they took a kicker in the 3rd round, but I wasn't like, oh my God, that's terrible. I like this kicker. I don't care too much for Wolverine, but still, I like this kicker, and I think this kicker is going to be a clutch kicker for us. And I love that Robbie Gould is the one that told the Niners they should take him because he's been mentoring him. So I don't know why. I'm not saying you particularly, John Jay, but I'm just talking to all Niners in general. Why are they mad that we get a kicker in the 3rd round when that's a need that we have?
Beto, so you're saying not everything is promised?
No. I can be dead in the next 5 minutes. Or like Kyle says, we might not be here on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Dename du Patre or whatever you know.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, people always
Father,
say like the Trey Lance. Well, they reached for him at 3. They should have waited at 12. They would have got him. There's no guarantee that he would have made it there. People can presume and say what they want, but there's no guarantee.
He was,
and we'll never know because they took him at 3.
He was supposed to go to the Panthers because Matt Rule really wanted him, but never mind.
See, so there's no guarantees. And if you look at our roster, it's heavily loaded at every position.
And the only reason why we traded up that high because when Kyle called Matt Rule and whoever the general manager with the Panthers at the time, they're like, "Oh, you guys want Trey Lance? We want him, so you better figure something out." And we were supposed to trade with Philadelphia, but then Miami was like, "Hey, we'll give you number 3." So But
so let me ask you, okay, seriously, where do you get this information from? Like what you just said, did you hear it from someone that said it to someone, or did you hear it from the team itself?
It's basically common knowledge. Like Matt Rule, like just look Matt Rule's track record. He works with mobile quarterbacks, and if Justin, because he was afraid Justin Fields was going to be picked up by Atlanta, Atlanta was thinking about getting Justin Fields. So they're like, you know what? Let's just get Trey. Like worst case scenario, Trey's going to be there. So basically, other teams, they speak to the media. Information is out there. So we don't know what they really wanted, but for whatever the reason, we took Lance at number 3. So all this stuff is common knowledge. Like I'm not trying to be an a-hole about it. I'm not trying to sound that I'm better. I'm just saying that I do my homework. I read everything from all 32 NFL teams. I listen to other media's perspective. I listen to people I disagree with. I just make sure I'm getting the right information so then I can make sure what the Niners are going to do. And Brian, shout out to you, man. But I was saying way before the season started, I said Jimmy was going to go to a rare team that we didn't know. But I said, we're going to keep Jimmy on the roster. Trust me. And people flagged me for that. But I didn't have to bet him a Subway sandwich.
No, but John, I bet you a Subway sandwich, and you argued with me that he wasn't going to be on the stream. We can go back and watch your videos. You went back and forth with me, and I kept Googling it, not Googling it, but arguing with you and kind of doing it in fun, saying he's going to be on the team. Why is he going to be traded? The way his injury happened, the way his rehab, the way they had him go into surgery, then nobody wanted him. There was no trade value, right? The Niners couldn't get rid of him. They're going to take such a cap hit. And I kept saying that to you. And you didn't, you're like, oh, I don't like Jimmy. I don't like Jimmy. That was the whole thing about the jersey thing.
I'm calling BS. First of all, I'm not going to have you call me a liar. Dude, listen, Brian, one thing that really does pick me up. No, I don't like you when you call me a liar. That really does set me off.
I didn't call you a liar.
Yes, you just did. You said that he was going to be gone. I never said that.
All right, go ahead. Fine. We'll go back and we can watch your videos. I can clip your videos. You've argued with me so many times because I've said Jimmy was going to be on the team starting week 1. I didn't say he was going to be a starting quarterback. I said he was still going to be there. I said it to Aaron. I said it to Rob Shue. I said it to Rombo. I said it to Grant Cohn. I've said it to you. I've said it to everybody. And the reason I said it, because why were they going to get rid of him and take that big of a cap hit? I'm not calling you a liar. Let's get that clear. I'm not calling you a liar. You might be forgetful. You might be not understanding what we're saying.
Really? Oh, wow. You have the nerve to say that to me?
What I was saying. Let's get back to what I was saying. I said I'd buy you a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey if they won the Super Bowl. And you said, no, I won't take a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. Why? If he wins a Super Bowl, I don't care if you resell it or what. But you said, I don't want it. And I said, okay. And then boom, the other night I was playing with you and I said, you jinxed it. The Niners didn't win the Super Bowl because you said you wouldn't take a jersey. I don't care, dude. It's just fun. And if you're going to get all into your feelings because we took Jake Moody and I called it, and I've been saying it for the last 4 months, I'm sorry. They took the best player available.
Wow. You really erupted there. Whatever, dude. You call me a liar. I don't like it when people call me that.
I didn't call you a liar. Go back and rewatch the stream.
Okay, so number one, I'm gonna do with OCD. I know everything the hell I say. Let me say now, because you want to go off on me. Now it's my turn to rebuttal what you're trying to say, sir. Okay, I said that if Jimmy was gonna go, he was gonna go to the Texans. I even said he's gonna go to Seattle. But I said, don't be surprised if Jimmy's still on the team week 1. Have the damn nerve to say that he was going to be gone.
When did you start?
Yeah, Brian. How dare you?
It to you after I started posting in your chats and saying he's not going to get traded. I'll bet you a Subway sandwich, and you started laughing and say you don't eat at Subway, you don't go places, and I started asking.
I've always said I eat Subway.
You don't have Togos in San Francisco. Come on, man. We can go back, dude. I'm your friend, and I'm telling you the truth. It was all in fun. And I said, look, if Jimmy's on the team next year, don't be mad. And everybody was mad. And then guess what? When it got closer and closer to the season, you did change your narrative and start saying, he's going to be on the team. And I commend you for that because you turned the page on it. But when I told you, I'll buy you a jersey if he wins the Super Bowl, and you said no.
Wow.
Dude, he wins the team.
Okay,
man.
Brian. All right, you know what? I'm gonna make your ego feel whatever you say, Brian. Whatever you say.
Okay,
whatever you say, sir. I have, dude. Listen, can I be honest for you for 1 second? 1 second. You do annoy the hell out of me sometimes, but I try my best to be as nice to you as possible. And this is the reason why I'm very careful how I talk to people, because sometimes people go a little bit too sensitive. Relax. And you're not going to change my opinion about Jake Moody. It's a bullshit situation. Okay?
John, I'm showing my face.
I'm sorry that I hurt your face.
I'm showing my face.
On your damn
logo that's got a blurred out thing like you're cussing. You came in saying that you were throwing up because we were, drafting a kicker. So you're talking about emotions? You're the one who started this whole negative thing on getting a kicker. Come on, man. I'm showing my face. You're telling me that I'm being negative and I'm trying to, come on. We're talking about the Niners. And we're going back on what you've said in the past.
Listen, I can go back. Yeah, I never ever thought that David McNider, I never thought that David McNider was very nice to you when you and him were arguing. I'm like, dude, man, David McNider never gets angry. And I was just trying to keep my mouth shut. I try to end the situation, man. Dude, one thing that you don't know about me, man, is that I'm a good fighter. I respect the hell out of you, man. I respect the hell out of you. But at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, man, like I only got pissed off right now because you said I was trying to kick Jimmy Garoppolo. That's fucking Grant Cohen who hates that goofball for whatever the fucking reason. I'm sorry. That's the reason why I don't listen to him. I said, dude, Jimmy's like, I don't know why there are people who hate Jimmy Garoppolo so bad. So I'm just tired of like this dumb stuff. Like everyone says, oh, we're all everyone has their own damn agenda.
Dang.
Okay, so can we admit or can we disagree that I offered to buy you a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey if they win the Super Bowl and you denied it?
Even if Jimmy
Admit it, dude. Hold
on. Let me answer the question. Okay. Even if Jimmy Garoppolo would have won, I would still say no to the jersey. You want to know why? Okay. You want to know why? Because I don't take free stuff from people. That's why I really mean what I say. If I win that jersey or if I win anything from you, you can give it to Corey Davis. That's who I am.
So when I tried to send you something, is that why I got the wrong address? Because I tried to just be friends with you and you sent me the wrong address. So come on, dude. I'm just being nice to you. And I told you in a friendly manner, if the Niners win the Super Bowl, would you take a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey? You said, no, I'd take a Bryant Young jersey. But Bryant Young wasn't the one who was going to win the Super Bowl that year. And that was my point. So you don't like Jimmy, that's fine. That's not what we're talking about. You come into the chat mad that we drafted a kicker. Let's get our feelings out. You're mad that we drafted a kicker at the late thirds, early fourths, and you already admitted in your argument that we should have taken him in the fourth. It's an early fourth round pick, dude. I love you, man. And if I irritate the hell out of you, I'll make sure I change that for you, all right?
So my opinion is not going to change, man. Okay,
that's fine.
Okay, so I don't know why you keep getting a little bit like when I present something that you don't like. Like again, I'm not trying to have any arguments with nobody, but I don't back down from nothing. That's one thing. If you really want to be my friend, Brian, we can have a real private conversation. I don't know why this has to be on YouTube, and I think a lot of people are probably having fun, at my expense. Which I really do not appreciate at this moment. But at the end of the day, Brian, I even said this after this. I said I felt sick to my stomach, but I still congratulated for you to get a pick right.
And then you come in with your face the way it is on your icon. You've been negative the whole time. Everybody's tried to convince you that this has been a good pick. You've been the one that stands your ground and wants to say, I don't believe that Jake Moody is a good pick. That's fine. We tried to change the conversation several times, and you continue to go this route. And then I've tried to make it fun with you, and then you come to attack me and say this and that. And when I've said back and forth, and I brought up facts about what you've said in the past, you're upset. I think we both should say trust the process, and I don't want to irritate you any more than what you've already said on stream, but we're both friends, and this is a friendly conversation. But when I debate you and I ask you about stuff, and you're
first of
not
all-
giving me an answer that is compatible, or anyone else is answering the same way that you are, and you're still continuing to argue the way you are, and you're not answering the argument, you are just going around the back. That's fine, dude. It's totally fine. We get it. You don't like the kicker. You don't value kickers. But at the end of the day, the Niners took a kicker. I called him out. And congratulations to you. Thank you. You said to me, thank you. I called it. I appreciate that. But I'm not mad, dude. I just think this is a good conversation. And when I've asked you, because I can get mad, I can get calm, I can talk up, I can talk loud, I can talk calm, I can talk where you can hear me. And what we're getting at was when I say, hey, what other position, and we're going to go back to my original question, what other position besides kicker could they draft right now that's going to come in and start John Jay? You couldn't give me a defining answer.
I gave you like 10 different names.
Did you give me a defining answer?
I did give you answers. I did. I said this player for at this position, even though we don't need this position, this player from this position.
Everything you disputed.
Name one. Name one. Name one.
Listen, dude. Here, all right.
What's up, Ryan?
Hold on. Time out. Here's the problem that I'm starting to figure out what's going on right now. Okay, I give you an answer that you're asking me a position. I gave Kelly Ringo, who's a first-round grade, but for some reason he fell to the 4th round. First-round grade. I gave you that. Then I gave you a bunch of other positions and some names. If you didn't hear those names, okay. But I am starting to figure out what is going on between you and I really don't appreciate it. And I'm starting to see something, your true colors. Okay.
All right. You want to call that out? You can say that. However, we'll talk on this side. But you know what I'm asking you? And I've asked you the question, and you want to give me 5 different answers for one thing. And we went back and forth, and everybody disputed offensive tackle is not going to start for the 49ers this year. You said defensive tackle. You said all these other positions. And guess what? We all come back to the conclusion that kicker would be the only logical answer that would start for this team this year. And I'm sorry that you got your feelings hurt. I'm sorry you think I'm attacking you, but I'm just trying to ask you because you want to come off and you want to be educated. You want people to hear you. We all believe you. We want you to come on the stream because we want to have educated conversations with you. And when I nail you on a point, you get hurt. And I'm sorry.
It's the other way around, but whatever. I'm not using the proper words.
Let's change subjects because I don't want to keep on arguing with you. I like you, dude. And if you think I'm annoying to you, I'm sorry. We'll change that. I don't have to come into your streams. We don't have to talk to each other. But you come in and I like talking to you. I like asking you questions. And if you can't, give me a defining answer, I'm sorry. I'm going to come back and say, hey, that's not an answer. And if you can't accept that, and everybody else has had the same question, and they've given a defining answer, I'm sorry.
I got you. All right. I'm all right. From now on, I'm going to call you a fish because you're a 2 + 2 = fish guy.
That is the right answer. What are you talking about?
The sponge coming in.
Sponge
how did you coming in hot.
How did you remove everybody and then put them back on? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. You were doing like a Mortal Kombat thing, right? Because I noticed the background. Round 1, fight.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Hey, what's up, Beto? Our Lakers won tonight by 40.
Not only did they win, they kicked ass, bro.
Yeah, they did.
David Corona, how do you feel about Jake Moody?
I can't complain.
You're asking the guy that has
Joe, how do you feel about Zach Charbonnet?
We do need a kicker because Robbie Gould's not coming back. So that was the best kicker. So we probably grabbed him before anybody else grabbed him. So
I can't wait to get his jersey, man. I'm gonna wait for the number that he chooses, and I'm getting his jersey.
Dude, did we just become best friends? I think we already were.
No.
I said that earlier. My wife said, calm down, wait until the number comes out. Everybody said the same thing. And then they said that number 2 is already taken. So 13's already taken. Beto, what number is
not
that?
taken.
He might be 4.
Two's gonna
not
be
taken.
2's gonna be taken, they said already.
If he's number 13, I'll get his jersey.
No, 13 is Brock.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
So Moody's not gonna be 2 or 13. So what number is it gonna be?
Maybe he'll get 9 from the guy that mentored him.
I said 9 too.
Maybe number 0.
Number 0. No,
maybe 1.
Number 0.
No, I think 1's gonna go to Brown.
Oh, Brown. Okay.
What number do you think you'll be, John? John Jay, what number do you think Moody will be?
Oh God.
I personally don't care what number he gets. I don't judge a player by what number he wears.
That was my question, though.
That wasn't.
He'd probably get Robbie Gold's number, probably number 9.
Number 9, huh?
He was mentored by Robbie Gold.
Number 9.
You can't take 8. 8's retired. 12's retired.
You better not take 8. Not for a kicker.
Oh, I think he'll do 16 or 80 for sure.
Those are all retired.
No, that's fine.
He's
the next god. Let him wear 16.
He's being facetious there, Bryant. Stop being facetious,
Joe, what do you think about your team? How do you guys do?
Silly Joe, I didn't get that, man. I'm sorry. I got all wound up, man, and my feelings over here.
PG Bryant. You're comical tonight, bro.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm not trying to attack you, but, why would we have
Hey, David.
We want to.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Back through the
Good. I like the beard. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
So does the shirt. The shirt looks great on you tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Those pink underwears look pretty.
Are you accepting tips, David Corona?
Oh, hell yeah.
David Corona, you accepting tips?
Stripper next year?
Yeah.
Oh, Super Bowl.
Yep.
Stripper next year.
Hey, everybody.
Well, David's already out of his shirt, so we're halfway there.
Hey, real quick question to Joe. How do you like your pick for your team?
I really like the first round, and I really like the first pick in the second round. The running back, I'm not too sure about. But it is going to be scary having Kenneth Walker with another top-tier running back.
You got a good wide receiver, too.
Njigba. Yeah. I don't know if you've watched that cornerback play. Yeah, but he wears 31 and he hits like Cam Chancellor. So
I love that running back you guys took, Bill.
Yeah.
My running back.
Charbonnet or what's his last name?
Yeah, Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet. Also, guys, can I give a quick shout out? Is that fine?
No.
Unless you do, you can only do it in Spanish.
Never mind.
Joe, if you gotta ask permission to give shout outs, you're gonna lose ability too.
What's up, little spongy?
Good point, Ryan.
Okay, quick shout out. Make sure to go visit our GoFundMe page. We're trying to afford to get David Corona a T-shirt, so we don't have to stare at his chest.
Why I don't got a shirt? Why I don't got a shirt on? Because
you're letting the tattoo heal, right?
Yeah. A tattoo of my mom.
Is that a picture of your mom?
No, that's my wife.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool, man.
How long have you been married?
Since 2016.
Oh,
what happened to the rest of her? My wife's face on me after a few years of being married.
So
what happened to the rest of her?
I got a loyal wife.
I made a joke the other night, and I don't know if you heard it or not, David, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here too, Beto. I don't have any tattoos. I don't care. I'll show you my butt. I don't have any tattoos, right? My wife.
No, you will not show us your butt.
Right?
That's for your streams.
I said, hey.
Hey, butt out, Ryan. Butt out.
If you really want to that bad.
There, Mr. Rapper.
I said, why don't you get a tattoo of my name on your rear end, right? And she looked at me and said, well, you'll get a tattoo of my name on your rear end, right? And I was like, hell yeah, because then I'll know what name is on, right? So I'm too afraid of needles, so it's not going to happen. But if anyone
You're squeamish.
That's the
It
only
doesn't
one.
hurt. It does tickle.
That's the only one that I recommend.
It does
It
not
just-
tickle, David.
Brian, you're squeamish.
No, it doesn't hurt. It just tickles.
Yeah.
He's squeamish.
Okay.
Brian, you're squeamish
Okay, David.
when it comes to needles.
Yeah, I don't like.
John Jay, what happened to your Warriors?
Gotcha.
What did happen to your Warriors? I think they lost.
What happens first? What happens first? Does Brian
think
get
they
a
lit-
tattoo, or does
I
John
think-
Jay get the kicker's Moody's jersey?
I think they lit the beam.
Okay, John, if John, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm
No.
here.
All right. If we'll do a small gesture, right? You don't have to do anything. But if Jake Moody becomes a Super Bowl champion, I'll make a personalized cup with Jake Moody on it for you.
No. Better yet, if John Jay buys a jersey of the kicker, you have to get a tattoo.
Right? Gift, right? Like we're not betting, right?
Wow,
But
wow.
So if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, you're making cuts for all the 49er fans.
no, for John Jay right
Even
here.
me.
I'll put the logo on it, John Jay, for the Super Bowl, the crest for that year. And then I'll put Jake Moody on the other side, only if we win the Super Bowl this year. That'll be my promise to you, buddy.
But how about getting that tattoo, Brian?
I don't like needles, Beto.
It doesn't hurt. It just tickles.
No, I can't do it, guys.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Okay.
My wife
We'll give you a cortisone
I'll
shot so
pay
you go
for
to
it.
sleep.
No, my wife won't let me do it. I gotta listen to her.
Cortisone shot.
As a matter of fact, Brian, I'll give it to you myself, bro.
No,
I'll
but no, the only thing we're
I'm looking
doing,
at 40. I'm probably gonna get it.
the only thing Beto, me and you are doing is we're watching a Niner game and eating pizza together with Bashar or something. We're not getting tattoos. I can't do that. Or going to a bar like you were saying the other night. My wife would kill me, dude.
Oh, pizza
Why
with
you get a picture of your wife though?
I can't do that.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna be dead serious. If Jake Moody has a good rookie year, and number one, I cannot afford a jersey. I'm broke as hell. I will figure out a way to get a Jake Moody. One thing about me that I never flick on my bets. That's the difference between me and other people. All right.
How about this, John? John, better bet. If they win the Super Bowl, I'll meet you over there in the Bay Area and I'll buy you lunch.
Ooh, that's a good bet.
That's a good one. Oh yeah.
Let's do that, okay?
Sack lunch.
What are we doing, Beto?
He's showing his insulin pen.
Yeah, no, that's a needle for
Oh,
Brian.
he's
I
shooting
thought
up.
he was showing him that he was going to tattoo him with that.
What is that, Beto? Is that insulin? Is it
No,
for
everybody slams dope on that.
I'm diabetic. Hey, Brian, I put myself 6 times a day with a needle.
Yeah.
I used to poke my dad every fucking day.
I had to get blood work done today, and I got X-rays.
Don't become diabetic, Brian, because if you don't like
Hey,
needles,
Beto, can you give me a nice picture of the 49ers? I get a tattoo.
Beto, that's why I
I
went
can
to
draw you one.
Beto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, draw me one so I can send it to my tattoo guy.
You put it
Hey,
off.
If Jake Moody,
Beto. Sorry, Joe. Beto,
Can I
that's
draw
why
you one, David?
I went
Yeah,
to-
you too. Yeah, anybody. I'll get it.
do
I'll get it
it.
right here on my chest.
Can I draw
Group
you a
effort. Group
SpongeBob?
effort. We all
Can I
draw
draw you
one.
a SpongeBob?
Send me a text, Brian, because I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you on this side.
Can I draw you SpongeBob?
yeah.
I'll get it right here on my leg.
Bro, wait. He's underage, bro. Don't be showing nothing.
Oh no, I'm showing him my leg. I'm not showing him nothing else.
Stop,
That's bad enough. He's underage.
dude. Stop, man. Come on, Dick Corona.
It's not really. He's just showing his leg. It's fine.
I'm not showing nothing. I'm showing my leg.
That's not what you did on my TT stream, man. Just wanted to point that out.
Oh, what'd you do? What'd
David,
you do?
He did what the Chicago Bear fan did. Don't ask.
What?
I'll ask. You can't just leave it at that.
Yeah, you can't do it.
First of all, there's a child here, so
Little Sponge.
I give you credit. I don't know how much
Little
child.
Sponge.
He's from Philadelphia. I think he's seen most everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sponge is from
yeah.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Alrighty there, Ryan.
sorry.
Can you promise?
Okay, hold on.
cover your ears or something, or
Yes, I cover
plead
my
the
ears.
fifth after this?
Or
Yeah,
put
I
in
plead the fifth.
canceling headphones.
Earmuffs. I'll
Noise
tell you when
canceling
to
headphones.
remove your earmuffs.
Ryan.
I got my earmuffs on right now. Hold up.
Okay. Keep them on till I say.
Okay, John.
Tomorrow's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You're still waiting.
Whoever
David.
John's the best. Well, what's up?
I have a
John,
question for you.
I blew it, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Wait, Jeff, wait. John, tell us what you're gonna say. He's got his earmuffs on.
I think it's a little bit like, how can I say it? I don't want to say certain words because again, it's a little bit kind of messed
Beat
up.
around the bush. Beat around the bush a little bit. This is after hours.
Okay.
Great.
So
What
let me. All right. So before I say, Brian, I don't know you personally, but I know you got 3 wonderful children. Shout out to you, man. But would you ever let someone around your kid and they showed something that is inappropriate that happens with people, personal stuff? That's basically what I'm trying to say.
What?
Yeah.
Was he showing porn? Was he showing porn on the stream?
Are you talking something PG-13 or are you going R-rated, John? I mean, because like
it's way past that. It's way past that. And
but let's pause for a second and let's look at Little Sponge for a second. Little Sponge is coming into a chat and he lives in Philadelphia, and it's like what time is in Philadelphia? So if his mom and dad don't. If they have a problem with them going on YouTube, you would think that they would be right. And if
they're going in the bed and they think he's asleep.
Who says they know? Yeah, they're probably sleeping.
So if you're saying something inappropriate, then maybe Little Sponge, maybe you should dip out and just be in the comments because we love you, but John wants to get to some raunchy stuff, man.
I don't want to get
might not be appropriate.
Like, why do you? Never mind.
I'm playing with you, John. Come on, man.
Never mind. Forget it.
You guys take it serious, huh?
You know, Brian's not showing his face right now. You know, Brian's not showing his face right now.
Hey, David, show your urine.
I noticed that, Joe.
Also, I want to explain why I say never mind. That's when I'm about to say something that's a little bit too messed up to a person.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
I don't want to cross a line. There's one thing I don't do. I never cross a line. Because I can't get personal.
Really?
What did we do that was wrong? Little Sponge hasn't done anything. We're not doing anything wrong with, and nobody said anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ryan, if I said something inappropriate.
No, I don't think you did.
Nobody said nothing inappropriate. Nobody showed nothing inappropriate.
Yeah, except David Corona on that stream or whatever.
Well,
I mean, you might have an ugly leg, but that's ugly.
You show too much leg.
Oh, I showed too much leg.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Too much leg.
I was gonna tell him I was gonna get a tattoo right there.
I messed it up for you, bro. I didn't just let you do what you were doing.
Wait, can you go back up to Bobby John's comment really quick?
Hey, Beto.
Little bro, middle left. You don't know any about NFL. He's talking about me. Can you go up to Bobby John?
Really, Joe? He's talking. You know what, Bobby John? Let's go.
Whoever could draw a good 49ers thing, like with the 4-9 ERS, that'd be perfect.
NFL, or with a 9mm, the 40, the 40 ounce and the 9mm. That's always been a good one.
Oh yeah,
Bobby John.
Yeah, I got that T-shirt. I got that T-shirt too.
Well, then you got to tattoo it. Come on now.
Okay. What spot should I put it at?
Why you show your PP to me, middle left? Yeah, reported for sure. Yeah, that's me. You know.
What about right on top of the wife? Is that a good place?
I don't know.
For just a second.
You have enough room?
Nah, I don't know.
How big do you want it though?
I want it big so people can see it.
So what about the back? Do you have anything on your back?
Nah, I got something planned for my back.
All right.
Hey, David, who does your work?
The homies,
Crazies tonight.
the homies from my neighborhood.
So are they using a third or a thin guitar wire?
You're good,
Uh,
Spongy.
he owns his own tattoo shop.
Oh, okay. So you own a shop. So it's not off just in the streets.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin owns a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. David,
Yes, sir.
What up, Willy Wonka?
I
Thank you
wanted
for
to
coming
ask
in.
you, does your wife have a picture of you also on her?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
She
I
has
thought it was like a mutual thing, you know?
she has my name on her.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a mutual portrait thing, you know? Some people do that.
So how close is that picture of that tattoo of your wife?
Hold on, let me go get the picture real quick. I'll show you. Hold on.
Okay. Some artists are pretty good, man. So, not every tattoo artist can.
Hey Ryan,
Yeah.
can you put up Willy Wonka's chat right here?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen is a bust. It's hard to be a bust when you're a fucking fifth round pick, you fucking jackass. Get the fuck out of here.
That dude, he's a good corner.
Joe
Yeah.
ain't playing after tonight. The gloves are off.
I love Joe. I never seen the side of Joe. I never seen the side of Joe. Oh, I think I'm falling in love.
Beto.
Yeah.
Middle left is like the worst NFL team. Yeah.
I can't see her. Can you make the picture bigger?
I wonder
Ryan?
if we just got a whole bunch of trolls.
I think that's the thing, middle left, because they keep calling me middle left. If they're not trolls, they usually know my fucking name.
That's pretty good, David.
They keep saying middle left, like it's gonna do
Yeah,
something.
that's pretty good, David.
All right. So, hey, John J.
Yeah, that's good.
John
Yeah,
J.
I like it.
He charged me 300.
Oh, you know what? That's a portrait, though.
Yeah.
Mr. John J.
He said he does them for like 500, but I'm from the neighborhood, so he give me a discount.
That's pretty good.
John, are you there? Okay, we're gonna come back to John. I was gonna ask everybody on the panel, what positions do you think we'll take the next tomorrow?
69.
What are you expecting us to take?
69.
So
Well,
we
yeah,
got a kicker and a tight end.
We got a kicker, a tight end, and a safety.
Oh, safety. Who's the guy for the safety?
I don't know, but he's a safety.
Jair Brown from Penn State.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Randy, I don't know if you know this, but Jesse Naylor from Last Second Sports lost his channel due to somebody doing some bullshit on a live stream and then turning around and reporting it like that. So that's why this is so BS.
I think we need one more edge guy.
That's what you're talking about.
The only thing I did was show my shirt. I wasn't showing any crotch area or
I'm
anything
sorry,
else.
Ryan. I show my ugly face. For that, I apologize.
If it's offensive to say the 49ers are going to be Super Bowl champions next year, I'm sorry, but
Oh yeah, we're gonna be world champions.
I tried to keep it belly level and up, so forgive
Don't
me.
worry, Ryan. They're gonna have to review your video.
I think they're going to put me in jail for going after John, and I really apologize.
They don't need
Hey, Beto.
Yeah.
My cousin did this one.
Stop showing us your body. We're to get flagged, man.
Why are you getting mad? I'm just showing Beto.
But you're showing everybody, and we're going to get flagged because you're showing your body, and they're talking about showing crotch areas.
I'm not going. I don't go that low.
Showing his chest and he's showing tattoos.
Oh.
So David Corona, YTC last summer was doing a baseball stream. A random guy he didn't know. He was very nice, kind. Was not wearing a t-shirt. He had pants on, but he was showing his trailer. I don't know where he lived again. I don't know. And his video got taken down for violating community guidelines.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not being mean to you. I was just trying to, have fun. Like, quit showing your tattoos right now because we've already had like 10 of them. Let's not get 11 strikes.
Okay. I apologize.
No worry. Hey,
No,
no,
I'm having fun.
No,
It's not your fault.
I thought like you trying. I'm not like you trying.
I'm not
How can I say?
clowning. I'm not clowning at all. I'm having fun. We're all having
Oh,
fun
okay.
here. If somebody reported the stream because somebody's crotch got showed it could have been me because I've been showing my belly area. That's why I said the same thing. Like I've only been trying to show the 49ers are winning the Super Bowl. My shirt's a joke.
Also,
yeah. Why I don't got a shirt on? Because my side's sticky right now. That's why I don't got a shirt on.
Also,
shout out to Justin. Thank
I've
you
seen people
for
come on shows with no shirt on
coming
before.
through.
I get in trouble.
and
But
see, also, I just want to remind everyone who has a channel, just because John Jay's looking out for you. Any random person, even if they're not a sports person, could just as a joke, report you for no because they're being goofy, and YouTube takes it serious. So I'm just letting you guys know what some people on the internet just be really careful because sometimes because
they have to investigate the video, though. They can't just say, "Well, this guy was doing."
Oh
this
no,
and-
like YouTube doesn't care if they get a report, they take it down before they even review it. So it's stupid. But like I said,
They're restricted.
and I already have a warning strike on my channel, and I didn't do nothing wrong. So it sucks. That's why I'm really careful. I don't use nobody's stuff. Like I don't even man, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I apologize in advance for a few people are in here. A mutual person who uses videos that he's not supposed to be using. I've spoken to this said individual. I'm not gonna say his name, and I get into arguments with this guy. I don't know what his issue is. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I try to tell him. I try to help him, and apparently he doesn't want no help. And I feel bad for the guy. I just do because I don't know what he's trying to do, and he does rub people literally. He rubs me the wrong way, and I'm like, I don't know why. I keep talking to him, but I'm just a good person by heart. I don't like telling oh, I'm gonna block you. And I don't do that stuff. So,
hey Justin, do you want to come in here?
What happened?
Oh, it's just all these people trolling us. But like, if they want to come in here and actually show their face,
I'm not gonna.
We actually have
anybody who's doing this shit. I'm not gonna be letting on the fucking stream. You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
Very good.
So
yeah, because they'll come in here and then I've seen it before. Like I'll just they come in and then they make it personal for no reason at all. So it's not. Yeah, I agree. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, I personally, nobody that shows their face on camera doesn't go into my stream.
Like those two guys, and then one of the guys trying to disrespect Corey, and like, oh, you. Like, I'm not saying nothing about, you know what I mean, but like, that's not cool.
Yeah, Corey did not find that amusing. That was messed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them push ups.
Hey Jeff,
John, again, guys,
I gave you a link in your DMs.
But
yeah, that's why I don't like to. Like, you know how sometimes you guys put your link inside the comment. Well, I don't like to do that because anybody can just. Not that you would let them in anyway, but they like to click on it. But if they don't show me their face, they're not coming in.
I know
them. But now, even with like Supremo, they use this fake names. It's even hard to trust someone you know. I have to see the face, and then once I see the face, they can turn off the camera. But
also, I don't know if this is true, but when someone's backstage, I think you can see their email address, so you can tell who is, yeah.
No.
Oh,
Are you?
I don't think you can do that.
Not on mine.
No.
Other people who have StreamYard, they've told me that.
Oh well, it says authenticated by YouTube.
Yeah.
But I can't see his YouTube. I can see the YouTube. Doesn't give me any information on them.
Later, Spongy.
Peace out, Spongy.
Yo, joke.
Later, Spongy.
Yo, Joe. Like, even though I'm not a Seahawks fan, I will never say anything disrespectful. For your team. Like someone, I just read some of the comments. So
why not say it?
I would.
Saying about how bad your team is and your player.
Seahawks suck.
And that's why I want to go back and tell you, John, even though we have a heated conversation, there's no disrespect. I'm trying to push you to give me the best answer that possible.
Respect the team, not the person.
Oh yeah,
for you to call me out and say I'm a fish, I'm not going to say that to you because I respect you.
What does that mean? You're a fish.
Okay, so
has
anyone ever heard?
You got upset. I understand you got upset, but I'm only asking you the question because we're trying to have the best, answer, right? And I'm asking you so you can define your question.
Spongy, you're fine.
Spongy. You're good, Spongy. Don't worry.
Not
it ain't you. It's the pieces of shit.
Oh. Yeah. No.
Okay, so
I'm not a fish, man.
Okay. All right. Let me explain. First, let me explain that joke. So there was a comedian in the 90s. I think he passed away. He wasn't like big or whatever, and he was talking about society, how society looks at the world, and he did a math joke. He says, "We all know when we went to school, 2 + 2 = 4," but he says that society is basically, as a joke, that sometimes we're not as smart as we should be. So when we look at 2 + 2, it equals fish. And everyone knows that 2 + 2 does not equal fish, but there are people who in the world for real believe 2 + 2 is fish. So he's making fun of how sometimes we're set in our ways, and basically sometimes we see 2 + 2 is fish. I see it sometimes the same way. So I'm just in the heat of a conversation, I just okay, this is not going nowhere. We're going to the 2 + 2 = fish situation. There's there's not going to come to no agreement. But Brian, if I could tell you a story, my 6th grade teacher was a former pastor, and he quit because he fell in love with a woman, and they have 2 beautiful children. Like he passed away already. And he said, I am not going to lie. There are people I cannot stand who really piss me off. And he taught us this. Even if you have issues with somebody else, show them respect. And that's why I always say to people, I may disagree with you, but I show everyone with respect. And I will always show you that kindness, Brian, that respect to you.
Right. Yeah. That's why I wanted to clarify with what you were saying, because I didn't think you called me a fish on YouTube. We're friends and you wouldn't do that. So that's why I wanted you to clarify that. And I appreciate that, because again, I'm not asking you questions to piss you off. I'm asking you to get in detailed depth reporting from the ultimate 49ers reporter, John Jay. And when I asked you about the kicker, it wasn't to make you get upset. It was to get your detail and your analysis of the pick. And when everybody, give their debate back, I didn't think you called me a fish, and I appreciate you clarifying.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, like it happens. Like I don't know you personally, Brian, but
you know me long enough. We've been talking almost every day.
That is true, man. Hey, that is true. I know you. I talk to you, so I can't say that
almost
anymore.
Every day. Almost every day.
It's like I'm your next door neighbor, and I invite you. I take you out. Like what friends do. But the point is that I grew up, in the hood, and you would always see those conversations, like 2 best friends. The 2 girls who are best friends, and they're arguing, and then the next day, oh, I love you, sister, I love you. It happens. It's like growing up like that. Like some people are just set in their ways, but at the end of the day, the next day, they're like, hey, squashed it. We moved on. Things happen. We said some stuff, and that's why I have this mentality. If I call you my brother, it's a big deal. That's why I call Corey my Niner brother. I call you my Niner brother. I call everyone my Niner brother, even though we're not brothers in real life. I consider you a brother.
Because it got pretty violent there for a second. I thought you were going to unsubscribe and tell me not to come on your chat again. And I was like, hey, that's why I wanted to ask you again. Hey, and then you clarified, I'm not a fish. So it was a joke. And hey, we're all friends. So remember, next time I get a heated conversation with you, remember, we're brothers. because we're Niner fans.
True. Yeah. And of course, like my brother,
we talk almost every day, and you got to admit that we almost talk every day. So I push your buttons a little bit, but why? Because if someone says, "Hey, here's a good question," or "What do you think about that?" and then you rebuttal to it, and then you can expand on the thought, doesn't that make us smarter as people?
That is true. Like when people disagree, you get to learn a different point, and I will give you that. It's just sometimes, and again, I don't know. It's because my mindset. Again, like I don't know anyone who has OCD. I wouldn't recommend making fun of people who have that. If you're dyslexic, like I am, I suffer from depression. I do sometimes like tell myself, "Am I worth living?" Which is not fun. No one should ever question if they should be alive, which sucks for me. But I'm set in my ways. I'm stubborn. Like I got that coconut head. You got to bang me with a baseball bat to break that coconut. It's just I'm just set in my ways, and sometimes I stand my ground, and I'm just hard headed.
You like that Niner pit bull, the Niner bulldog, and we appreciate that. And that's why, again, you're here, you're talking, because everybody here, I think, has a different little bit of an aspect. The only reason Beto's here is because he's cute. Joe, he wears green. David, he's got tattoos. Ryan's got the hair. I got the glasses, and I look kind of like I think GQ, and then you bring the facts. I mean, come on, like and subscribe to everybody's channel. I mean, can I say anything more? But yeah, I'm super stoked that Moody got picked, and I think now that's our missing key. So Saturday, that will be my evening show. We'll be talking about Jake Moody.
I think it should just be John Jay and Brian.
John J. Bryan debating the very tough topics. Was Jake Moody the right pick?
And we can have it we can have it like the Tootsie Roll, the commercial, the Tootsie Roll. How many licks does it get to the center of the Tootsie Roll pop? The world will never know. Like when
the owl did bite it, and he says 3.
Yeah. He's at 1, 2.
How'd your show go, Beto? How'd you do today? What do you feel? How are you about the draft?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was watching some video of John Lynch talking to Brown on the phone. I love the draft. Like the Niners took 2 of the 3 players that I thought they were going to take. In Brown from Tennessee State, they take Cameron from Alabama, tight end. The one that surprised me was the kicker. I wanted Moody. I just didn't think the Niners would get him that high, but after they took him, I sat there and thought about it for a minute. If the Niners really covet this player, they like him, they watch film, the scouts give him a lot of good film to watch. Sometimes it doesn't matter where you take him. You just got to go for the guy you want. And the fact is that we have so many picks and not enough roster spots to fill everybody up. You know that Moody's going to take a spot. And you know what? How many third-round picks did we take that haven't panned out for us? At least with Moody, he can be here for the next 10 years, taking good for us. He might be one of the best third-round picks in Niners history. Who knows? But I believe and I trust my scouts, scouting players like that, and making the right decision. I mean, I know we're fans and we want to give an input, but what seems stupid to us might not be really stupid for the team. We just gotta support whoever they take. You can give people can sit there and say how they feel, but to criticize the team for doing it, I don't know about that. I like that, and I love the tight end.
Do you see this comment right here, Beto?
Who's printing from an old computer?
That's what you sound like.
Really? How about now?
There you go. Oh,
Okay.
it's coming back again.
All right, so I gotta hold this. I'm gonna go into my other mic, but
we're about to wrap up here pretty soon. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So the tight end, I tell this to people: if you watch him play in Alabama, he didn't get the ball that much in there, but he was a great blocker. He has great hands when he needs to be. If you love George Kittle, you're gonna love this kid. This kid, I'm not saying he's gonna be the next George Kittle, but he's gonna be a great compliment. If you ever wanted to see that double tight end set, you're gonna get it with George Kittle and this kid in the offense. So I'm excited to see that. And if we make it to the 40-yard line and we can't go any further, at least we know we have a kicker that can kick over 50 yards into the post and get those 3 points. So I'll take it. And then tomorrow we might get our defensive end, maybe an offensive tackle. I think that the Niners did a good job, man. You gotta let things pan out. I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm not as happy as Joe with their corner with their first pick when they need a pass rusher, but it's all good.
I'm not mad about it. Try to throw the ball.
Say that again?
I said I'm not mad about it. Try to throw the ball.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's going to be rough. I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, I realize a pass rush is the best coverage, but I'm really excited with the guy.
It's good when you have both, though. Yeah, when you have good coverage, you're right. It's good. But when you have a pass rush and coverage, kind of what the Niners have, I mean, people can hate the Niners, but if people say that the Niners front seven is not scary, now there's a question mark.
No, and that's one thing I've said since day one is I respect the 49ers. I think they built their team the right way. I think their defense is the scariest in the NFL. I mean, if we had their front seven with our secondary, could you fucking imagine that team?
That would be nice.
We definitely have a lot of activity.
So we're wrapping up here pretty soon. I don't know if you knew that.
Sorry.
We were supposed to cut out at 11, so.
I'm sorry.
Did you do a live, Ryan? Did you do a live during the draft?
Yeah, bro.
And you doing this one tonight? Wow, bro, you crazy.
I tweeted that. You were like, oh, I did a 4.5-hour stream. I was like, yeah, me too, bro.
Wow, and you still kudos to
so
you,
was
man.
Joe and Bryant.
Beto, are you doing tomorrow too?
Yeah, doing tomorrow 8:30.
Wow, us too.
Yeah, that's all right though. That's all good. We do our thing. It's good. If we come tonight here and talk. So.
We had a payo time, and then he came in and said he was leaving our stream to go talk to you the other night. So
yeah, he stopped by. He was payo time cool, man.
Yeah, he's really cool. So shout out payo time, and it's a lot of fun. We've been
go check our live today. We had Eric Davis, ex-49ers, on there.
Gotcha.
You guys have a good night.
It was a white one, Eric Davis.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Like I said, it's been a long day.
Go 49ers.
Appreciate you all for joining. Anybody wants to, please check the description. There's all the channels in there. You can subscribe, show your support, make sure you like all the videos. And with that, we out of here.
Well, that's all.